Greetings and salutations, and welcome, listeners, to Flintlocks and Fireballs, with me, your host and Dungeon Master, Jason Phelps, and a band of merry, slightly nerdy and somewhat insane actors attempting to survive the dangerous waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I am joined, as ever, by Robbie Bellekom, Sam Burns, and Ellie Sparrow. How are we doing today, guys?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, very
nice
good, actually.
sunny, warm day.
All right, yes. It is a baking day here in London, where Ellie and I am. Where are you this week, Robs?
Home.
Oh, okay.
Nottinghamshire,
Yeah,
where
fair enough,
it is not thundering and lightning today.
Gosh, that's
Yes.
unusual.
No, we had the storms 2 days ago.
Yeah,
down
listeners,
here.
Oh, it's amazing, wasn't it?
Robbie is
Yes.
actually touring with a show right now, so she actually podcasts to you from a different location every week in the country. So this is some dedicated D&D.
Yeah. Sam, by comparison,
Whereas-
is recording off in the West Country, where
Yes,
And
well,
you have it.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah, where next week's episode will actually be guest recorded at, all things being equal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that should be fun.
Robbie's the only one who doesn't get to be
yes.
there in person. It's very sad.
one of these days we may actually record one of these with everyone together.
I mean, that would be
Yeah.
That would be fun.
unprecedented. That would be very
Yeah,
exciting.
that would actually be unprecedented. So, I'm going to give us a little bit of time for future us to provide any announcements that we might have. So, take it away, future Jason and or whoever. Hello, it's future Jason with messages from the present. So, as ever, it's time for Robbie Watch. Robbie this week is still in Aylesbury, so if you want to check her out, you can go see her in Awful Auntie. First things on our news, we have fan art now. I mean, we actually had fan art about a week ago, but this is mind-boggling, amazing news to us, and so we have set up a fan art gallery, which is new. So, if you have decided to try and bring this mad world we've created to life with pen, pencil, or digital tablet, you can send your fan art to us via Facebook, Twitter, emailing it to us, info@flintlocksandfireballs.com, and we will add it to our fan art gallery. Please make sure to include your name, Twitter if you have one, Tumblr, art page, whatever, so that we can properly credit you, because we want to make sure everyone gets properly credited for their work. This episode actually has an in-universe map in it. Those of you who found this via the website will already know this, but if you're listening to us on Podbean, iTunes, or YouTube, you can head to flintllocksandfireballs.com, and if you search through the episode list for episode 3, you can find, hidden behind a little spoiler tag, the map that is mentioned later in this episode. As always, you can also follow our globe-trotting map and follow, with an Indiana Jones-style dotted line, the path of the group as they travel through Calcinea. And I think that's pretty much it from me. So, back to you, past Jason. Wow, that was lovely.
Those were some amazing
Yeah.
announcements.
Yes. We still don't know if
Those
there's
are
just
some
going to be music
attractive
there.
products and or services.
Yes,
Or
I
an
would
awkward
buy
silence.
those.
We're
I
really
would
not
buy
sure.
those products or engage in those services. Okay, so,
Money's on awkward silence.
or attend that convention. Okay, so with that out of the way, then we are going to start. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear. Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs, our party found themselves momentarily in the clutches of Stringer Smith, a former seaman on the Charlie's Regret, and then turned ghoul following their untimely, or perhaps very timely, death and reanimation due to improper burial. The party successfully chased Stringer Smith through the various streets of Squirrel's Cove until eventually, with the assistance of a mysterious gnome, managing to locate his lair in an abandoned rope factory, engaging in a short but furious battle to the death. With Smith destroyed, the party were able to board the ship, the Charlie's Regret, heading north into the seas, with vital information as to one potential quarry, a Thrinese slave ship, by the name of, I believe it was the Sabre, if I just double check this here. Yes, yep, there we go, it was Sabre's Fancy. In pursuit of that ship, and scouring the waters in the hopes of finding a new prize, the privateer was attacked by a wing of great Harris hawks, a fairly intelligent, if bestial, flock of creatures that hunt in packs, and while attempting to make away with a good 10 or so members of the Charlie's Regret, were successfully fought off for the most part, escaping with only one, unfortunately soon to be devoured crewman, who could not be saved, and slaying 3 in the process. Where we pick up now, however, it is the night after that same battle, and Corzin Horhace is currently struggling to try and prevent the number of lost crewmen rising above 4. Corzin, you have been working most of the evening into the night while the rest of the crew has been celebrating, trying to stitch together injuries, do what you can for the 5 heavily wounded crewmen under your care. I'm going to ask you to roll a medicine check just to see how you're doing thus far.
All right.
Please.
Not well. That's a 7.
Yeah, the Harris Hawks left some deep scores as well. A couple of them are teetering on the brink. You don't know if you can save them. One you can, but he's going to... from one of them basically bit into his calf and took out a hefty portion of the muscle in the process. Without access to advanced regenerative magic, he was going to lose the limb anyway, so you were forced to perform an amputation. The ship's carpenter will be fitting him with a peg leg. He is now passed out drunk from the amount of rum you had to give him as a painkiller. As unfortunately the ship is running low on opioids. There is some opium available, but you're trying to dose that out as best you can. Most of it's mixed into the form of laudanum with rum rations.
Yep.
Still, though, thus far, none of the 5 men have died. But it's going to happen for at least one of them. One of the crew members... if I just take a moment, I'll tell you who it is. It is a halfling seaman by the name of Alton Appleblossom.
Right.
Yep, there we go. You've known Alton these past few months. You've been working aboard the Charlie's Regret. Not someone who's been close to you, the way that you've made friends with the other petty officers and, for instance, Seaman Salts, but they are known to you. You are used to seeing them in the mess hall during off time between shifts. You've stitched up their wounds best they can. If they do survive, they're going to bear some heavy scars. But the problem is, the ship is out of healing potions. They used up in the wake of the attack to try and save as many lives as they could, and they were used well. But Apple Blossom has lost a lot of blood. And the technology, like mundane technology, does not exist for blood transfusions. The only way to get more blood into a body that you know of is through a healing potion. He has maybe an hour or two to live before the lack of blood in his body eventually kills him off, and he's fading fast. And you just find yourself desperately frustrated as to what you can do. I'm going to ask you to roll another medicine check, please.
Yep. It's a little bit better. That's 12.
Oof.
You try everything you can. He's barely awake. You try and get some broth down him in the hopes that maybe a bit of sustenance will help. But as you just sit there, by the end all you can do is sit there clutching his hand, trying to be someone there by his side. And the frustration builds that this is just one life that no matter what you can do, you can't save. And for the stupidest reason, that if you were on shore, you could have requisitioned with the bosun to get to buy another healing potion, and that in 8 short hours you will be at shore. The ship will make dock, but by that time Apple Blossom will be gone, and that frustration builds in you. And just for a moment, you can feel something just over your shoulder resonating with that same frustration. And following an instinct that you don't quite understand, you stretch out the hand you're not using to grip white-knuckled Alton's hand, and you place it on his chest. And you can just see, flickering across your forearm, the glint of silvery scales. And something pulses into Alton's chest. He starts to cough and splutter before the laudanum you've given him starts to take effect again, but as you watch, you can just see the faint flush of colour start to return to his cheeks. Somehow, you're not quite sure how, the spirits that have been watching over you have managed to restore lost blood. You're not sure if you could do that again tonight, but yeah.
Yeah. I sort of look down at my hands confusedly, and then is Apple Blossom vaguely conscious?
Drifting in and out. He's had to have a lot of laudanum, but he, looking at him again, doing checks, like checking his heartbeat has increased. You can see that there's actual colour in what were otherwise pallid cheeks, and he's going to live.
I sort of breathe a sigh of relief, and I look around to see if there are any other of those silver spirits around.
There's the usual 3: the glint, the one that glints of scales, the one that seems to be a baleful fish eye, and the one that's just the swish of a tail. And they are just hovering around you. The scales look a little bit shivery, a little less stable than usual. You get the feeling that took something out of it.
All right, I say to them, I don't know why, but whatever your reasons are, thank you.
You feel just... It's a strange feeling. Not quite approval, but more sort of acknowledgement. But it's not a human's emotion. You get the feeling it's as if some great fish, or in this case quite small fish, had looked at you, acknowledged you with intelligence, but there's no warmth in it, just interest. But you get the feeling these guys are here to stay. So,
I take a moment, look back at Apple Blossom, and then I reach out my hand towards the shimmery one, as if to, even though I know it's incorporeal, to kind of reach out with a gesture of friendship and openness.
the sense of scales flits around your hand in a slightly playful manner for a moment before returning just near your shoulders, just to its comfortable place of watch.
Corzin, if anyone is observing him at the moment, smiles just almost imperceptibly inwards to himself.
You've done all you can for the night. Your second comes off her time of relaxation and celebration with the rest of the ship, and takes over watching the men and women under your care. You've done all you can for them, and you get some much needed rest.
Yeah, asleep before I hit the pillow.
Oh yeah. Morning comes, and with that morning comes the brisk scent of salt upon the air, and mercifully for you, Celestia, clouded skies.
Yay!
Hey!
Oh, I'm so happy. Does that mean no disadvantage?
Yes, no
Yes!
disadvantage.
I'm not
they are-
useless.
We have got to get you sunglasses.
Oh, I'm getting
yeah.
sunglasses as soon as we make port,
Yeah.
mate. Like, it's happening.
It is a. It's not a stormy day, but it's just a little overcast. It's that sort of grey twilight that our British listeners will be very familiar with as the default weather within the UK. So, you find yourselves pulling in to the docks at Peder's March. It is an interesting town. You can see from the flags on the ships that are docked here, and of course from the, I'm going to say almost like kind of light blue uniforms of the soldiers milling around, that Peder's March is very much territory of Brighthall, the country that neighbours Wending to the north. It is quite a small town, but you can see very much why it's there. There's one object which dominates the coast, and it is the coastal fortress. A heavy brick fortification that is must have some deep foundations, because as I'm about to describe, the terrain here is not well suited to most stable structures. So this must have been built deep. This large brick fortification practically bristles with cannons, carronades, swivel guns. It is designed to protect the fort, to fire on ships many, like almost up to a mile away if needed, in order to help protect this part of the Brighthall-ish coastline. And you can see that it is quite well fashioned as these things go. There is also a set of docks that has been built around them, and these have deep piles driven into the water, and it's actually kind of hard to tell, were it not for the piers that have been set up, where the water ends and the land begins, because the whole area is thick wetlands. Out here by the coast, it's more marsh-like, but as you can see, as you get further inland, the marsh transitions into swamp. It's more wooded. There's thick trees, and the clouds which you're seeing almost. The clouds above seem almost to sink down to the ground. There's a faint fog. It's thin. You can see a fair distance through it, but you can't quite make out the horizon. You don't know whether that will pick up or fade during the course of the day. As the ship pulls in, Your watch is not yet over, and so the three of you actually end up having to wait about 4 hours to finish off work on the ship, while the watch that was actually on break gets to take shore leave. But once your work is done, by which time it has progressed to mid-morning, as you arrived very early morning-ish, you are able to take your leave. You won't be needed for a while yet. In fact, the bosun glumly tells you that it's probably going to take her at least 2.5-3 days for her to successfully negotiate with local vendors and, of course, the coastal fort, which will have possession of most of the supplies, for all of the necessary resupplies, potions, and so on. Fortunately, at least, they don't have to take on too many more men. It should be possible to find 4 sailors here without too much trouble. It is the 13th of falling leaves. And, yes, you can see that there are a few immediately obvious buildings. Most of the town is clustered around the port. And where there's a couple of merchant ships. Well, actually, one looks to be a military ship, like a very, very light frigate there to support the coastal port, flying bright orange colours. The other ship looks to be a trade ship, Wendish in origin, not one of the ones that you'd be privateering, ideally. Yes, and they're
important distinction there.
Important distinction, and they are currently engaged just in trade of some sort. But there are a lot of fishing boats. You get the feeling that, like most coastal towns, fishing is a mainstay of the industry here.
Right.
There is a small shrine where you recognise the symbol, the sort of anchor symbol of St. Mananan over the entryway. There appears to be only one tavern of note that you can see, although there are a few other various shops. So up to you where you guys want to look into first during your short leave. Oh, one last thing. Before you leave, given your fight that you guys were engaged in beforehand, the bosun takes the time to issue you all replacement ammunition, so shot and powder. So enough to bring you all back up to 10 rounds each.
Fantastic.
Okay, excellent.
For my imaginary weapon, I definitely don't have.
You don't. Yeah, you don't get any scamp. Sorry, you don't.
No.
Unless you want to try and blag your way into getting some extras.
No.
No. Okay.
I think it's pretty clear that the child is not wielding a gun.
Okay. So
let's not give guns to children.
No,
Yes.
Even if they
mad.
can shoot fire.
Okay, so what would you guys like to do?
I'm going to wear my cloak with the fake beard.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Guys, this surface light is killing me. I need to find somebody who does some kind of smoked glasses because I can't see anything if it's bright.
Do you want to borrow my cloak?
What?
It's probably not very long on you.
Put it over my face? Is that what you're saying? Like, is that?
Yeah, put it up and the beard.
But then people wouldn't see my gorgeous face.
Right.
Make an investigation check.
Investigation check. Okay. Oh no, which dice do I want today? Help me. 13. That's not too bad. It's got better because of Jack of all trades. That's why I got excited.
Okay. Asking around, you notice actually it's a bit differently to Scarl's Cove. You actually get quite a few more looks, Celestia. People are a little uncertain of what to make of you. Unlike Scarl's Cove, which is relatively near the entrance to the Underdark, you get the feeling that drow and maybe even just elves aren't that common in these parts. There's no overt hostility as such that you notice, but people seem a little confused by your presence.
I throw out my chest and enjoy the attention.
Okay. Nevertheless, people here are, fairly helpful. You learn that there isn't an optician or anyone who produces glasses professionally in that sense, but there is someone who does make, he does have a bit of work grinding lenses for work in, for use in spyglasses and similar, who might have something. That is also his two jobs. He's also the local cartographer. Yes.
Helpful.
So you're directed...
I was about to ask if I could find a cartographer or a bookshop.
He'll
do.
Yeah, you are directed to the shop of Thrain Lensbearer, so you hear people call him. It is a small shack built, like most of this of the town, on piles. Fortunately, the waterways are not so bad here that you need to use gondolas to get around.
What exactly do you mean by on piles?
Like on stilts. Basically.
Okay.
The whole thing, yeah, because the ground here is not stable. Like this, if you can imagine, all of the buildings are built on wooden supports with little wooden bridges,
like walkways
laying between them.
That's really cool.
Yeah, like if you've ever travelled through marshland, sometimes on public walkways, you'll see just like planks that have been laid out. Yeah, it's like that. So it's not. There is a concern that if you step off the walkways, you might go down to a knee, or in Corzin's case, to the chin.
So tiny.
Yeah.
So tiny.
It's still funny.
Actually,
I'm sorry.
Slightly less.
Chest, maybe.
Slightly less likely to go down to the chin in Corzin's because he's also lighter.
True, actually.
So less likely to drop. Corzin weighs something like 30 pounds without armour and accoutrements.
I could lift him up like a
38
baby.
pounds.
38 pounds, yeah. Kind of short but bulk, but like strong. He's got muscles to him.
Yeah.
So you head to the small wooden hut, essentially, of Thrain Lensbearer, which has a simple sign outside. It does have some Dwarven runes on. Anyone who could read Dwarven, however hesitantly, would essentially be able to just make out that it says Thrain Lensbearer cartographer on it, but it has
I think I can work out the first bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I can
you
read
can work
enough
out Thrain
Dwarves to know.
Lensbearer because it's like, Thrain is a fairly common Dwarvish name. You've seen it written down before in accounts and so on. But also it has a picture of a sextant on it.
That helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and a spyglass. Moving in, you can see that the hut seems even smaller and more cramped on the inside. The walls are covered with scroll racks, sort of pigeonholes, which are filled with scrolls or wrapped up. And as you can see on the flat spaces of wall, there are various charts that have been drawn out. And there's also a selection of spyglasses, some magnifying glasses laid out on one table, including, you are very pleased to see, one small pair of round, sort of iron-rimmed lenses with smoked black glass.
Amazing.
Essentially sunglasses. Behind the table, which is full of these things, you can see there is a maybe elderly dwarf. It's kind of hard to tell. He's got a thinning grey beard with matching thinning grey hair and kind of reddish-brown eyes. He looks up as you enter. Hello. What can I do for you?
How much for those lovely smoked glasses just over there?
Yes. Oh, really? He kind of peers at you. Oh, yes, I see. Yes.
That's sunlight,
Yes,
so it's a bit difficult.
It's been about 6 years since I last saw a drow.
They're not coming much.
Not much call for business. No.
I'm a travelling musician, so I get around quite a lot.
I see. Well, for you, those would be... how does 10 gold crowns sound?
Yes, that sounds very well. Thank you. That'd be lovely.
He takes
I
the
hand over the money.
and passes you sunglasses, which, while worn, negate the sunlight penalty.
I put them on and sort of peer over them.
Yeah.
Feel very superior.
They are
and cool.
they are basically late stage Elton John. not early stage with the big star glasses, but like late stage with like the two small,
the two little round ones.
the two little round ones.
Elton John is fucking perfect.
Yeah,
yes.
you would need to get the early stage Elton John glasses made, especially.
I mean, I think I'm going to have to be a bit richer for that,
Yeah.
but it's definitely
Probably.
a consideration that I will make so that I can reflect in Elton John's entire career in this D&D podcast, which is definitely what I set out to do in the first place.
Yes.
They'd have to be bejeweled and
They
everything,
would,
wouldn't they?
yeah, they would have to be very, very bejeweled.
He goes to. He actually looks over to you, Scamp. And just greets you with a classic dwarven greeting of "Hello, good day. How are you doing?" may the axe of your ancestors always hang heavy over your enemies' heads.
Same to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I say in very broken dwarfish.
Yeah. Yeah. So, is there, and he says back in the common Jovan tongue, is there anything else I can help you with today? I do have a selection of maps, of course, available for sale.
Yes, maps. Do you have a book of maps? All the maps.
Yes, certainly. I mean, what sort of area are you looking for in particular? I do have...
I don't know. Everywhere.
Okay,
whole
I mean...
world.
Corzin sort of tugs on your robe at this point and goes, "The word you're searching for is Atlas."
Atlas? An atlas.
Yes, I do have atlases for sale. They're a little pricey, if warning. It depends again how much detail you're looking for. Here's the thing. I do have one very encyclopedic atlas, and he reaches under the table. He pulls out just a quite massive, like, it's a grimoire. It's basically a grimoire. There's got to be...
Like he puts it down on the table, shakes.
There's got to be...
Is it bigger than Corzin?
It's not bigger than Corzin, but there's easily in excess of 700 pages in this thing. This is...
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is his most comprehensive atlas.
Probably weighs more than Corzin.
Yeah. It's at least half of Corzin's weight. Just in dead printed wood.
18-pound book.
It's something like, again, like this is this would cost you nigh on I mean, I've had it for a long time. I could be talked maybe as low as 100 and 120, 110 gold crowns. If I knew the sort of, if you were looking for a specific area, I could perhaps try and find you a more local map. A bit cheaper.
I don't know.
I mean, we're heading into Thryne's waters, I believe.
Oh, to the south.
To the north, isn't it?
Oh, to the north. Oh, so you're looking for more along the Dragon Coast then?
Yes, we're heading towards Crosswater.
Okay, I do have a map of the Dragon Coast that would be more helpful if that's what you're looking for. I do have a smaller atlas that's connected that describes specifically the Dragon Coast and its islands, surrounding areas.
Okay. How do we feel about that?
Okay.
It's not really helpful.
What kind of map?
Can you keep a secret?
Oh yes. Would you like to know one of the secrets I've kept? You get the feeling there's a little bit of mirth behind his eyes when he says this.
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check if you want.
Complete stranger.
Make an insight check if you want.
Yeah, why not? Oh god, I don't trust any of these dice. Ooh. Oh, I'm so insightful. That's a 7.
You're not sure. He might just be playing. You feel like he's setting you up for a joke. Well, would you like to hear one of the secrets I've kept?
Yes?
Tough, because I'm keeping them.
Totally didn't see that one coming.
Very, very
But yes,
good.
I'm sure I can. I've kept many secrets in my time.
Okay, I'm going to pull out my treasure map. Where's this?
Okay.
Where's this?
He reaches under his desk and takes out his own pair of spectacles, which are not smoked, and kind of peers through them. You notice they actually have a second lens on one of them hinged to the top, which he brings down, peers it with more eyes.
I love those.
Yes.
Small bifocals.
I think, one moment, and he actually takes the atlas, encyclopedic atlas, which he has out, and managed to pulls it open, starts flicking through to certain pages. Yes. Okay, yes, this is, it's lacking a bit in some of the geographical features, but I do believe this is, Slavitska's Isle. It's actually a little bit to the north of here. Not that far north, in fact. If I and you see him reach out for the map. He gets a little wooden ruler and starts. Okay, so that's the scale on this. That's 200 miles, and then that's 1, 2, 3. Yes, that looks to be just around about 150 miles north of here, thereabouts. So not far in a ship. looking down at it, Corzin, you realise, wait, no, this isn't Grayscale Isle. Has a not dissimilar exterior, but now that you can see the map he has of Slavitska's Isle in the Encyclopedic Atlas laid out next to it, you can go, oh yeah, no, those coastlines match.
I give Corzin a look.
Yeah.
like a raised eyebrow, like, oh yeah?
But yes.
Corzin says, in my defence, they are about the same size.
Yes, if it's just a map of this island that you're looking for, I can just find you a specific map of Slavitska's Isle, much cheaper.
Please.
That's all right. He closes the atlas, passes you the... And actually, I'm going to roll an intelligence check for him. Feels the paper. You realise this isn't actually written on paper. This appears to be parchment.
Does that make a difference?
Oh, it's very thin parchment. It seems to be... Parchment is made from cured skin, as it were, apart from wood and cotton pulp, which is the way we make paper. So this is either a much older map, or someone, well, either didn't have access to ready paper on hand when they made it. Something curious about it. I can't quite make it out. Passes the map back to you.
I put it away really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It seems curious that someone would just mark an X on a map like that. I wonder if maybe it has... I don't know. I'm not a stenographer. I couldn't. If there's a code in it, I couldn't work it out. But maybe something. Curious. Anyway, Slavitska's Isle. And he starts going through the various... gets out from behind the table and starts going through the various scroll racks until he eventually produces a slightly older looking map. He says, yes, this is... I'm afraid this is about a few years out of date. Well, actually, over a decade. Yes, this was from the last time the Isle was mapped, which was around 15 years ago. And he points to, you can see there's layout on the map, which matches up very closely to yours. You can see most of the island is marked out as being covered with forest, and you can see there's elevation marks. It seems quite hilly towards the middle, and then slopes down towards the sides. You can also see that marked out on the northern side of the map, near where the X is, there are a lot of marks indicating crags, rough places, essentially shallow rocks that would not make for safe landing. Most of the safe landing points are towards the south of the island, and you can see there, marked out in some detail, is the outline of a village or small town. Now, of course, since the depopulation of the isle, there's not really been any more recent mapping attempts. But
why did it get depopulated? What happened?
From what I understand, it was attacked. It had been raided for some time by there's a sort of barbaric, savage race called the Sahwagin. They're sort of think fish people broadly is the way I'd describe them.
Okay.
I'm not a biologist. I don't have a lot of details on them. But every now and again they will raid coastal villages, and they've been harassing them for some time. And eventually, things came to a bit of a mass, and it seems that they just butchered a good portion of the town. The rest fled, and it's not really been resettled since. Something unusual happened. I don't know a lot of the details. I didn't know anyone there at the time. I only heard about it a year later. But since, yes, no one's really bothered to recolonize it since. It's bad luck and that, A lot of people don't want to move into a place where a lot of people died.
6-foot-tall fishmen can be a bit of an off-putting prospect.
Yes, quite so. But for this map here, that will cost you 5 gold crowns.
What is on the map? Is it just the island, or is it like the surrounding ocean bit?
There's some.
Can you
there's
tell
some
where it
indication.
is?
Oh, there's some indication of the surrounding parts, but when you ask this, he happily says, "Well, tell you what, I do have a simple map that I can just copy out for you." And he does you and he actually just spends 10 minutes drawing by hand and eye an outline of the surrounding coastline. Basically, he's got a map which shows where Peder's march is in connection, in relation to Slivitska's Isle. And you can see there's like a small rectangle where he displays like the large sort of island, which is actually more like a collection of deltas connecting onto the mainland. Where Peder's march is. There's another island, larger sort of medium-sized island off to the north-west. Then to the north, there's the smaller Slivitska's Isle, and you can see to the east there's the mainland, where there's one major town that he's marked out for reference is somewhere called Borwick's Bay, which seems relatively close as well. And
I'm going to count out 5 gold and silver really slowly.
He seems patient. He's
occasionally pause and go, because I lose count and I have to start again.
he helps you out a little after partway through. But
while you're doing that, Corzin asks, have there been any more of those Sahagwin attacks further south?
No, not so much. Not as far as I'm aware. I mean, they don't really. Certainly, nothing here in Peder's Marsh. The coastal fortress sort of puts paid to that. They would have to be bloody suicidal to try and attack somewhere as fortified as this. No, there have been attacks occasionally, from what I'm aware, on the coast. Following their usual patterns, small undefended villages, places where it takes time for a squadron of soldiers to get there to provide support. But again, it's rare that they wipe out a village like that. In fact, but there was already help coming, but they arrived a week too late. It's an unfortunate thing. By the time the news got out, they mobilised troops and everything. Slivitska's Isle was quite cut off, as it were. No, unfortunately, just didn't manage to get there in time. But no, they do still sometimes do raids, mostly for livestock, valuables that they can carry.
Do they tend to raid ships, or is it just coastal towns sort of thing?
Mostly coastal towns. You see, the fact is, ships travel quite fast, so unless they have an ambush prepared, which they would mostly do when a ship is going into dock.
Oh, so they travel by water?
They're amphibious.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm not from round here, I'm sorry.
Yes, of course, you're from down below. They don't really happen.
We don't have fish people down below.
They're mostly, they spend most of their time underwater, but they can come up for hours at a time without needing to replenish. So yes, they're effectively amphibious.
Just don't get caught on a small boat.
Yes, that is the problem. They do attack fishing boats, smaller boats, but not large ships. They don't really have the infrastructure, as it were, to do that. Well, thank you very much for your 50 silver shillings there. Carefully counts them as himself, puts them in a pouch, and hands you the 2 maps. The one simple coastline map, which he did for free, and the more detailed map of Slivitska's Isle. Well then, if that's everything, I think I might take a brunch.
Oh, thank you, good sir. Celestia Stardust, nice to have met you. I put my
He
hand out.
Gives you a firm handshake. Yes, absolute pleasure. Thrain Lensbearer, like it says on the sign. Okay, you, unless you have any other business with Thrain Lensbearer, you make your way out.
Bugger off out the shop.
Yeah, where would you like to visit next? So there's, in terms of notable buildings, there's the coastal fortress, there's the shrine, there's the tavern. Oh, there's also a larger building which seems quite well made. Someone's gone to the trouble of making one actual brick building in town, which you guess is probably like a mayor's residence or similar. It's not too big a town. There's maybe you would guess ballpark figure, maybe 8,000 citizens or so. So small town territory.
I mean, the tavern's usually a good place to start, isn't it?
Yeah, what's the name of the tavern?
It is the Welker's Joy, which has an image of a halfling kneeling, or sort of standing in the water and picking up whelks. And the halfling on the picture is immensely happy. He looks like he's just come back from a really good day of whelking or something or other. Heading over to the...
Corzin looks up at the sun and says, never trust someone who looks that happy at whelking.
Maybe he's just having a nice day.
Yeah. One moment. Just got a message. I'm just going to reply to that.
Is that a secrets message?
Yeah, secrets message.
Ooh, how exciting.
I've replied to that.
We do secret texts for things that we don't want to hear. Want each other to hear. It's a lot of fun. So if you ever hear Jason replying to a text, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm so tempted just to text you weird things randomly,
just to see.
Take absolute filth just to see what. You think.
Yeah. Okay, so heading into the Welker's Joy. And for the first time since episode 1, I get to go back to the tavern music for a change.
Yay!
Heading back into
the tavern music.
Heading back in, you can see that there is already a fair bit of custom. The first watch, who are like the rest of you, busy on their shore leave, are spending some of their share of the last take they got from the previous prize. And the bar mistress seems to be kind of again off her feet, dealing. She doesn't have bar boys or barmaids, so she's sort of serving everyone herself. You can see there is quite a fat, oily skinned looking halfling woman with short cropped black hair and brown eyes. And so you can just see her kind of dealing with it. All right, I'm coming as fast as I can. Busy serving up drinks and very fishy stew, by which you can see there are literally chunks of fish in it. Surprise, surprise, in a coastal town. And some thick black... it's actually... would it be... No, it wouldn't be rice here, but it would just be sort of kind of watery looking, kind of thin looking black bread. You can also see that as you come in, there is a loud sort of cheer from many of your crewmates, like, hey, there they are! And you can see amongst them, there is actually a kind of sickly looking, there is in fact a rather sickly looking Alton Apple Blossom, kind of like lifting one hand in a kind of ragged cheer, and just kind of carefully working his way through his broth. He's not as lively as the others, but despite his wounds and the bandaging, he's not drinking. He's got milk. But he does seem well enough to get out and spend a little bit of that time outside. But you get the feeling looking at him, he's probably going to go back in soon. There is you can see Seaman Salts is already heavily into her cups. And he goes, look, it's the heroes of the hour. And there's and you find that people are actually queuing up to buy you drinks. The three of you, you get the feeling of...
I'm still wearing the dwarf disguise.
And a few of them wink knowingly at you and get you first drinks, and then you quickly, and then maybe milk afterwards.
Oh, Oh no, I'm going for alcohol.
Okay, no, yeah. They buy you drinks then, yeah. And people buying you drinks.
This is a terrible idea.
Oh no,
yeah.
we're giving a child alcohol.
So there is a there's quite, yeah. These are seamen. They are not responsible. They're definitely buying alcohol for.
Is this
for
your
a child.
first alcohol?
No.
Yes.
So yeah, they're buying you various drinks. So you don't have to pay for drinks while you're in here, and you get the feeling that all three of you acquitted yourselves well during the fight with the Harris Hawks, and whether or not they believed the stories about you fighting off Stringer Smith, they several of the people here were basically saved. Some of them directly by, say, Scamp shooting Scamp's firebolts, or being
Scamp
shot
still
down.
has nightmares about the fact that one of them wasn't saved.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Celestia's gonna whack out a guitar and do some celebration music.
Nice.
She's going to sing
Cool.
a little sort of sea shanty that she's made up about a fabulous pirate with a pink feather beard who nearly drowned but was saved by a flying bird.
Oh, yeah.
It's called like Pink Feather Jones.
Oh,
or
make a
something.
performance check.
Okay, excellent. Oh god, what dice do I want for this? I hate performance checks because they're so embarrassing if they go wrong. Like, it's just the worst thing in the world. Oh, it's not amazing. Okay, that is a 15, so not like the end of the world.
Still pretty good.
I'm going to minor illusion a pink feather beard on your face as
Yes!
Okay. That rolled well. Okay, so Pink Beard is a rescue is well received. It's not your best performance, but you make a a good showing of it, and especially the pink beard showing up at a dramatic moment.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of laughs. I'm going to say over the course of the time you do spend performing,
I'll do sound effects as well. So
I'm going to do like dancing lights, like a little disco ball going around my head. So
yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It's pretty much all in coppers. But you do make out with 5 silver pieces.
Hey!
Hey!
I'm going to put them down
Excellent.
as silver because that will confuse me.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
just put them down as silver.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yes, while you're you spend a bit of time chatting and drinking, and while you're doing so, I'm going to say Seaman Salts gets your attention at one point. Hey, there's if you guys are looking for something to do while you're in town. I mean, we're all just going to get pissed drunk for 2 days, but
Fair enough.
Up to you guys. Hope you don't mind, but we've been singing your praises a bit the last few hours.
My praises can be sung all you want.
And there's a couple of people who have been asking around actually for you. I mean, one of them not particularly, but I have heard there's an alchemist in town who has been looking for someone to do a bit of an expedition, of a game hunting expedition into the swamps. They're apparently offering actual gold for it as well. So it's not something I'd do, but maybe you guys. And apparently the mayor having heard from a couple of his men who were drinking here earlier today, has expressed an interest in seeing the three of you. Don't know why. Might be something of interest. And there's also kind of nod. As she nods off to one corner, you can see drinking alone. There is a frankly hideously ugly-looking orc drinking by himself. It was kind of big fellow, but yeah. And the orc over there said he might have a bit of work as well. In fact, I mean, hopefully he's not looking for a bit of any kind of... And she kind of winks to Celestia and Corzin, but...
Corzin's ears sort of prick up, or more sort of out because of the angle they're at.
But, yeah, thought that might be of interest to you. Anyway, I'm going to get another round in. What do we want?
Booze!
Yeah, by this point, actually, make a constitution check. Depending on how... Yeah?
17.
Okay, you've been holding your
Nice.
drink like a dwarf.
Holy shit! That's impressive.
Which
You're
is
a
good,
child.
because you've been drinking like a dwarf as well.
Corzin says, whatever dark rum they have.
Alright.
I'll go for whiskey myself, thank you.
Alright. And yeah.
Celestia's getting a little bit merry by this point.
The barmaid comes around. All right. We got whiskey, rum, and got looks around like we got some of the seaman over there said you might like some of the imported stuff. So she puts down a small shot of proper dwarven whiskey in front of
Holy
you. Scamp.
shit!
I am definitely an adult and can drink this.
Make another Constitution
Oh
check.
god! Help!
Oh, that's a 1.
Oh fuck!
But-
Brilliant.
Okay, yeah,
I
it
am a
goes
child
down.
and cannot drink this.
And you are basically giggling at this point. Hold up, there's something I might. I'm going to see if I can find the. Okay, I'll get back to you on the pissed drunk rules because there are.
Does
there
it
are actually
affect the
some-
wild magic? Because if
think
it
it
doesn't
might.
affect the wild magic, I feel like it should.
Oh, I think it should as
No.
well.
Wild magic makes me
Yeah.
so stressed. Like I literally, I'm just every time someone mentions it, I just have a tiny heart palpitation because I'm like, what's gonna happen?
Okay, so so you receive your drinks and you are starting to
Do
get.
we all get a shot in addition to what we ordered? Or
Yeah, I'm going to say fuck
Right.
it, yeah. You
Has
all
Celestia had dwarven whiskey?
once, yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah. You know what it's like. It burns all the way down and all the way through.
Okay, Celestia's getting a little bit tiddly now, so she's going to sing a song about a very, very drunk tiefling.
Okay, I'm actually going to ask. In which case, if you're all getting a shot, I'm going to ask a Constitution check from the other two of you because.
Yep.
Celestia's constitution
They make
isn't
it
very
from
good.
cave
so-
fisher blood.
Oh, my constitution's really bad. Okay. Oh, that's actually a really good roll, though,
That
so I got an
was
18.
Okay, you hold your
Is it
drink.
just a roll or is it a saving? throw?
Saving throw, actually. Yeah, I guess that would actually be a saving throw.
Okay, so that's a big fat 7.
Oh, mate.
Oh yeah, no, that goes straight to your liver, as it were. Yeah, it's you feel it. Never mind. I'll look it up later. But yeah, you are. I'm going to just say basically advantage on your current level of drink. So advantage on athletics, disadvantage on acrobatics and stealth, and I think actually gives you an advantage to certain charisma checks at this level of drunkenness.
What about wild magic?
But surely
Wild
things
magic-
like wisdom are...
Oh yeah, no, disadvantage to wisdom saves and saving throws and dex
Cool.
saving throws.
I assume I'm not drunk enough for that.
Oh, you all are because actually no, you're not because you said
Yeah,
you're just merry.
I'm tiddly.
Yeah, but they're actually drunk now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the dwarf
Corzin says, Regent's teeth that'll strip the varnish off a keel.
You're very small, so you can't hold your bruises the way I can. Says Celestia.
No, that's just absolute lies.
Because I'm small and I'm fine.
You look absolutely fine, my darling. So fine.
My beard sort of half
Celestia
hanging off
continues
at
to
this
sing
point.
the song about the very, very drunk tiefling.
Do you guys want to investigate any of the people who are in your inebriated state who might be looking to hire you for whatever reason?
I'm very,
Yes, let's
very
go talk
interested
to
in the mayor.
Yeah.
civil
Yes.
dignitaries. That can't end badly.
I want to know why the mayor wants to see us, but I also
There is
am aware
the-
that you're both pissed. So
There is an orc right there who wants to talk to
I'm
us.
gonna go and speak to the orc.
I will come to...
I'm going to come with you.
Okay.
I'll take the rum with me.
So it's
I say on the way as we're going over there, watch out. They're all muscle.
so it's actually when you get close you can see it's a half orc, though definitely leaning towards the orcish side, and yeah, grey skin, actually pig-like sort of nose, and he's just ugly as the sun is yellow.
Aww. I think he sounds lovely.
And
Celestia doesn't sit too near him.
yeah, he looks up as you approach. Oh, hello there.
So,
Hello, Celestia Stardust.
Uh,
nice
pl-
to meet you.
He takes
her
your
hand
hand,
out as ever.
looking a little surprised, and shakes it. It's a firm grip. This guy's pretty strong.
Do my fingers crunch just a little
Just
bit?
a little bit, yeah.
I take it back
I
hurriedly.
put my hand out and go, Corzin Horhace. No, down here. Yeah,
Gives you the
Corzin
same
Horhace.
shake. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Ruprecht Hauser. Thank you for coming to speak to me. I understand from talking to some of your crewmates, you're pretty handy people when it comes to, well, just pretty handy. You know how to handle yourselves, and maybe you might be looking to make a little bit of something. If I'll,
We always make a little bit of something.
well, yeah,
We're really strong!
he raises his fingers. 3 more drinks for these fine fellows.
Oh, I'm not sure that...
Oh no! Okay, make that 3.
That's an absolutely brilliant idea.
Okay,
Now,
let's make that 1 milk and 2 more drinks.
I give him a very subtle thumbs up, just sort of where Scamp can't see it.
Okay, make that 2 milk, 2 milks and 1 more, and 1 more.
no, I down the rum.
Oh yeah. 2 milks.
That's an absolutely fine idea.
Okay, so it brings 2 milks. You can see the bar mistress brings around like, okay, 2 milks, 1 rum. And he goes, thank you, Sira. Yeah, it's fine, Ruprecht. So
Tell me if I need to save again with drinking more.
no.
Yeah.
You're drinking milk. You've passed the milk in front of Scamp. Corzin, you make another save to see if you get any more pissed.
That's better. That's 14.
Okay, yeah, you maintain your current level of alcohol. So, first of all, I would like you to hear out my tale, and then perhaps you will see why I need your assistance. I don't know if you wouldn't have met him yet, I don't think, but the mayor in this town, his name's Mertin Off. And, well, the easiest way to put this is that he's not all that he seems. When we were children, Mertin and I, we were the best of friends. Because, frankly, we were both ugly as sin. We were both, we got picked on, we got bullied, you name it. People would throw things at us. But we stuck together. We did everything together. We fished, we wrestled, we looked and hoped maybe that one day the girls would look at us. You know how it is. But, no, we had, no one else liked us, but we were friends together. But one day, around 9 years ago, nearly 10, Mertin went into the swamp. And he didn't come back until 3 nights later. Now, both of us by that point, Mertin had lost his parents 3 years before. I never knew my father, and my mother, she had passed as well. So no one noticed except me. But when he came back, he was changed. Not at first. He wouldn't talk to me about what had happened. In fact, that's when he started avoiding me. But he started to grow handsome. Not at once. It took a few months, but his skin started to clear up. His face started to change a bit. A lot of people started to put it down to just a growth spurt that
Puberty?
Finally.
Yeah, could the puberty fairy have
It
visited?
happens.
Yeah, well, by that point we were both 17, but it's possible, but not that level. It's as if his face still had some of what it was, but he changed completely. And when I say he became handsome, I mean he became really handsome, like on the covers of books and paintings.
More handsome than orcs.
Well, yes, frankly, but yeah, more handsome. To use your parlance, more handsome than elves. So, and yeah, when that happened, everyone started to like Mertin then. They invited him to parties. He got new work. He started to become very popular. The girls started to like him. And he stopped talking with me. In fact, he joined in with the rest at laughing at me. But worst of all, he won the heart of Ava.
Who's Ava?
She was the most beautiful girl in the village. She was kind to beautiful on the inside, if you will. She never threw stones at us. Never picked on us. Oh, we were too too low down, too ugly to really speak with her. But we would take bets, Merton and I, on whether one of us would ever finally win her heart. I worked up the courage to ask once. And, well, she let me down gently. She didn't spit at me. And,
People here are dicks!
Yeah, people here are dicks. But that is the life I've always had. But when Merton was beautiful, Ava fell for him. They were married, and they had a child too, Clara. It's almost her 7th birthday. It will be tomorrow, in fact, the 14th. And, well, I don't want to assume anything, but a few months after, about 10, 11 months after Ava was born, after Clara was born, I should say, Ava drowned. Fishing accident,
Bang.
also they said. I don't know. Merton was withdrawn for a time, and most people put it down to mourning, and maybe that was the case. I don't know. But anyway, it's taken me years to figure it out. I didn't want to believe it at first.
Figure what out?
I think that Merton's looks are the result of magic. There's old tales of a witch in the swamps. They call her Olga Gristlegums. And well, I think he made a bargain with her. Don't know what he offered, though I fear I have some ideas. And because of that, he became beautiful. But I think he has a sort of magic item that makes it happen. You see, Merton lives in the nicest house in town. He has all the nicest furniture. Everything is as beautiful as he is, except one thing. He has a jewellery box, and was Ava's, and locked inside it there is an old, broken, rubbish-looking bit of mirror. Doesn't even reflect straight, from what I understand. But every morning I've heard from him talking to his servant, he looks into it, makes sure he gets all of his body looking in it, and then he seals it away. And I think that is the secret to his looks. So here's what I have to offer, and here's what I want. I want you to help me get that mirror. I'll leave if I have it. I'll get on board that vendor's ship, head south, leave town, find a new life. But this is about, if I'm honest, this is about revenge, not justice. I don't want him hurt. I don't want him hurt. Not physically. I just want him to be as ugly as he was, as ugly as I am. Because he abandoned me. Because we were friends and he dropped that. And then
What actually is it that you do around here, if I may ask?
I'm a fisherman. It's my trade. It's what I've always done. It's what my mother did before she died.
Is that what Merton did before?
Yeah. Now he's mayor now. He makes his money from dealing and wheeling and all of that.
What happened to Clara? The daughter?
Oh, Clara
She's
is
still...
no, she's alive and fine. Like I say, it's her 7th birthday tomorrow. She has been raised as well as Merton can. You know, she's received an education. She'll be fine.
What does she look like?
Young, blonde, blue eyes, beautiful as her mother, and I suppose her father.
So, what happens to her so her mother's dead?
Yeah.
And then her father turns hideously ugly and
probably
loses his
goes
power and influence?
Mad.
Well, I mean, I assume he has some money put by. He is wealthy. So if nothing else, she will be taken care of. Her father might not be as pretty as ever, but I'm sure that they won't starve. And
With this fishing accident,
if I have to, then I'll look after her. I'll come back when I've made my fortune and try and make sure
so
that she's
she'll go
provided
live with
for.
a stranger. Great.
No, she can live with her father, but I will come back, and I will be better than Merton was.
she'll definitely want help from you.
Maybe, I don't know, money is money. It can come from there, but yes, it's not a perfect plan. I know.
So, how suspicious are you about this fishing accident that Ava was in? What makes you think that it wasn't
I don't
one?
know, just timing. He gets a beautiful young girl, everything is going for him, and then she dies, and I've heard... I don't know. It could just be nothing. It could be nothing. That doesn't change the fact that... That doesn't change what he did to me. But anyway, that's what I want help with. Trying to get that mirror. And in terms of what there's for you... I've not got much silver, but I do have something that I've won in a game of dice once, long ago. It's not been too much use to me, but it could be to people like you. And he carefully pulls from his pocket a small pouch, which he opens up so you can take a look. Inside are 6 lead musket shots, but you can see that inscribed along the whole of their circumference is a network of arcane-looking runes and glyphs.
Ooh.
I bought these from a visiting mage. He was here with a warship, and he said these have been enchanted so that they can be shot from a musket or a carbine or a pistol, but they have all the punch of a blunderbuss. They will knock straight to the ground anyone who is shot by them, no matter what the distance. He called them bullets of walloping. I have 6 of these. They can only be used once, but I know that these are worth... Altogether, these could easily be worth 100 gold pieces. And I will give them to you if you will help me do this.
Can we think about this?
Can we have some time?
Yes, I
We're
understand.
here for a couple of days.
I understand. And I understand if you're not interested. I'm not asking you to do a noble thing just to help. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But I will be here. I hope you do consider helping me.
We will consider it.
Thank you. That's all I can ask for. And he returns to his drink.
Okay. I vote that we take our whiskey and go somewhere a little bit private.
Should we go for a little walk?
Let's go for a little walk. Yes.
A post-orc walk.
As you exit,
Post-orc walk.
as you exit,
Fuck off.
Sierra, the barmaid, shouts back, "Be sure to bring those glasses back!" But you walk out with your drinks.
I put mine on the bar, it's empty.
I need my milk
Yeah,
glass.
Okay,
I
you just down your
mine.
milk and
Yeah,
all that.
cool.
Okay. You walk out into brisk air of the late morning. Actually, by this point, it's basically about noon.
It's noon and we're all pissed.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's evening
hilarious.
day drinking.
Day drinking!
Yeah, we're proper pirates.
Yeah. So, where would you like to head next? There is, you can see the mayor's house easily, and actually, now that you've had it pointed out to you, you can see that there is a small hut with a mortar and pestle marked on its sign. That presumably, is the hut of the local apothecary.
Do we know anything about witches? Does it like fairy tales? Have I heard anything about?
Make
like,
I guess this is an Arcana check.
Can I also do
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Because I
Oh,
come from a
I'm
different
so
place,
good
that
at
might
that.
be helpful.
Yeah.
No, I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. That's a 3.
Oh, that's a 9 from Celestia, so not much better.
You know that they are apparently, they're spellcasters. They can do magic. They're usually apparently hideous old women, for some reason, not many men, who live in weird secluded locations and cast spells. That's literally all you know.
Okay. Now, I don't know about you two, but I feel like I would like to meet the mayor before we make any decisions.
I want to talk to the alchemist about the swamp.
We can do both.
Because if there's a crazy old witch in the swamp, he'll know. They'll know. She'll know.
Yeah, I think we should do both of those things. I don't feel like his story is a little bit funny. And I'm not sure how much I trust him, how much the mayor has actually done anything wrong except make himself a bit prettier and be a bit of a dick.
My worry is the cost he mentioned. He said he thinks there's a price for this. For being all pretty. Is that something he's
In my
paid
experience,
already?
Or is that
something he
something
hasn't?
ongoing?
well, there's generally some kind of cost when it comes to magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Balances have to be redressed.
Especially with something big. Like, that's an everyday, all the time
Like, is this going to be
kind of
a
enchantment.
Rumpelstiltskin sort of thing? I come for your firstborn child.
He's still got his firstborn child.
Yeah, which would be a really good reason to intervene before that happens.
Yeah,
I know nothing about witches. That
You
might
do
just
have
be
a
crazy
point that
goblin
he does
things.
still have his firstborn child right now. But it... So birthday tomorrow,
do
isn't
either
it?
of you get the impression? Do either of you get the impression that that he wouldn't want people knowing that he'd consorted with a witch or a magic
yeah.
user of that kind?
But if there isn't a price,
I mean,
if nothing bad's going to happen, then fuck it, let the man be happy.
I mean,
He did a dick thing, but let's not ruin
this
his
is
kid's
why
life over
this
it.
is why I want to meet him, because I feel like
Yeah.
from meeting him we'll know something about his character. At least we'll be able to tell. Surely.
Well, the others told us that the mayor wanted to speak to us about something, so maybe it's
Yeah, I mean
connected.
that was intriguing anyway.
Yeah.
So either way, we should go. But I mean,
Okay.
out of character for a second. DM,
Yes?
how's the town laid out? Like, which way would be sensible?
You'll have to do one and then the other because they're slightly opposite ways.
They're not really on the way to each other,
But
yeah.
the alchemist is closer.
Okay.
How drunk am I now? I'm still pretty drunk.
Still quite drunk.
Let's not go see the mayor right now.
Okay, alchemist.
Let's
then
go
Let's
see
sober
the
up at
alchemist.
the
That's
Alchemist
a much
first.
better
Oh,
idea.
Yeah.
Let's go see dangerous chemicals while we're drunk.
God.
Okay, yeah, you head to the hut with the mortar and pestle sign, and you can see this one is laid out actually much more neatly. There is a separate concealed. You can see this one is laid out with 2 rooms. One of which seems to be more of a, one of which seems to be more of a like showroom at the front, and at the back you can see is a workroom, which seems to be full of more classic alchemical gear, beakers, various glassware, a small cauldron, in fact, at one point.
Ooh, cool.
But out front is just more of these. You can see that there are various bottles lined on shelves, jars of just herbs and various powders and so on, but all very neatly arranged. And behind the desk, apparently reading a book, which she closes on your arrival, there is a halfling female on a high chair, She has long blonde hair done up in 3 braids, and has very neat clothes in just in white, grey, and brown. And she looks up in your arrival. Oh, yes. Hello. How can I help you?
Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you. I put my hand out.
She gives you a little quick shake of the hands. Emelina de Sol, alchemist and chemist. So,
lovely to meet you, Emily.
yes, are you looking to purchase anything or for advice? How can I help you?
Didn't someone say you wanted to see us?
You're the 3 from the ship. Yes, of course.
Yes, we were told you wanted to.
Yes,
wanted
I'm a
visit.
dwarf.
Yes, so I can see. Yes, yes. I have an ongoing.
My tail is definitely sticking out at this point.
I have an ongoing bounty, actually, as it were, because you see, in my work as an alchemist, as opposed to my work as a chemist, I have a lot of use for unusual parts, as it were, so long as they're fresh from various creatures. And the local swamps are actually home to a certain amount of cockatrices. I don't know how much you know about those, but
can I roll?
yeah,
Can I roll? I'm gonna roll.
nature check.
Oh, I'm not
Nature.
good at nature.
I don't see
That's,
why I
13.
know.
But that was like half on. It was leaning on something, so I'm gonna roll that again. Okay, that is equally rubbish. I think. So that is an 8 from Celestia.
Both
So
below
not
10
much.
was that? What?
That was a 13.
Oh, 13.
for me.
Okay, yeah. You've kind of heard of them. They're apparently large, as far as you know from legend, they're large chickens that can turn people to stone with a glare.
Ugh.
I assume does Corzin know this, but I don't.
Corzin knows this,
Yeah.
but you don't. So how much, up to Corzin, how much you say, whether you just relay that to the others?
Okay, I'll say it's imagine a giant, ugly cockerel with the ability to petrify people.
Oh, that sounds charming.
That's yes, that's the essence of it. Although there's a lot of misconception about it in popular myth. A lot of people think that they can turn you to stone by looking at you. That's basilisks. That's something else entirely. They do. The magic is actually contained in their beaks, and it's quite short-lived as well. Unlike basilisk stare, which will turn you to stone basically forever. Cockatrice stares only turn you to stone for about 24 hours.
Ooh.
Cockatrice beaks, I should say. But
Are you conscious during that time?
No. You're basically a statue for that time.
Okay.
From the
That would have
survivors.
been much worse. if
From
it was-
That's horrifying.
From survivors I've talked to, it's basically like being pecked and then waking up immediately afterwards.
Also quite scary, but still not as bad as being.
Yes, yes. So yes, they are dangerous. So long if they can get up into close range, which is why most people hunt them at a distance. But one thing I can do is so long as the cockatrice is at least 24 hours fresh, I can use an intact cockatrice head to create a potion which will mimic this effect. So yes, they're occasionally used by adventurers and such. I try to be responsible in how I provide them, although sometimes I do get commissions from the military, of course, as well. But yes, I offer a standard bounty of 15 gold crowns for each cockatrice head that is brought to me. Again, provided it's been within 24 hours. As the magic in their beaks does tend to fade after that time.
Wears off. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
If we were to do this for you, would you be able to provide us with some of the finished product, as it were?
Yes, happily. In fact, I'll do it at a discount. Normally, I'd charge at least 60 gold pieces for the gold crowns for these. But if you give me 2 of them, as it were, on spec, as 2 of them, I will exchange for 1 of the potions. So essentially half the price.
That seems very reasonable. Thank you. We might be interested.
Yeah,
This potion, is it a sort of throwing potion, or
no,
is
it's meant to be applied to a weapon. Usually, they don't really work. You could apply one to an arrow, but not a bullet. The effect of the gunpowder would essentially burn out the potion. But if you applied it to, say, a dagger or a sword or an arrow, then it would be good. You would be good for one shot, and whoever it struck, there would be about as much chance of turning them to stone for 24 hours as the Cockatrice would.
That's very good.
It's not guaranteed.
Think of it more like drow poison.
Yes. You are, of course, familiar with it. There is a common poison that drow use, which coat their arrows and blades with, which just sends people to sleep, which is desirable because then they can be captured and used as slaves.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yes, it's very popular as a means of disabling threats without necessarily killing them. Once they're out for 24 hours, you can just manacle the stone, and then when they turn back, huzzah!
You've got them.
Yes, they're enchanted. But yes, that's basically the deal and style for it. So
Brilliant.
if you fancy tracking down any cockatrices,
Do you know where in the swamp we should be looking?
towards the centre, that's where. Basically, I'd say just look out for any tracks. If you spot any large creatures that have been frozen to stone, you know that you're very close. But they also they do resemble large chickens, so you might look for discarded feathers or the like, or simply just do a bit of a search. Looking for anywhere that there's an absence of large predators is likely to be a cockatrice nest, because they are well. Have you ever been near one of those guard dogs that's been bred to attack absolutely everything on sight?
Yep.
Too many times.
No.
Right. Well, yes, they're a bit like that. If they see anything that's larger than prey, and prey for them is about the size of a frog, they will furiously attack it, try to peck it, so that it turns into stone and doesn't attack them.
Yeah, we tend to go more in for spiders down where I'm from. So.
Yes, of course. Quite different.
Yes, of course.
Guard spiders. Yeah.
Basically.
So
We had some dogs around once, but yeah,
all right.
that was from somebody else.
Okay, so if that's all that, then unless there's any potions or chemical supplies you're looking to purchase.
Is there a witch in the swamp?
Oh, that old rumour. There's definitely someone living in the swamp, yes. Whether they're a witch, I don't know. There's certainly been it's been a long-standing rumour for as long as I've been here, and I've been here for about 5 years now, that there is some old woman in the swamps supposedly providing potions and cures and maybe curses, which I would say is very unreliable and quite unnecessary when you have a trained alchemist and chemist like myself.
Much safer, of
Yes.
course. Well, good to know. Which bit would she be in?
Well, supposedly also towards the centre.
So basically what you're saying is head towards the scary, misty bit where the witch lives.
Well, I'd say try to avoid if there is a witch, try to avoid her, and if it's just some random herbalist living in the woods, also try to avoid her. She's probably trying to live her life for whatever reason. But
Is there anything else in the swamp that we ought to be aware of?
yes, there are. You want to keep an eye out for alligators. Although if you're towards the centre, it won't be so much of a problem. There are of course velociraptors, but with a party your size, I wouldn't be too worried. They would only go after someone your size, or even your size, is looking to cause them. If there was only one of you, in a group of 3, they're probably they're opportunistic predators, so they're unlikely to attack a group that large.
Right, good to know.
She's like they're a little smaller than you are, for reference. They're not large creatures.
Which one is she pointing at when she says that? I
Corzin.
assume
Corzin.
Corzin. Yeah.
Would Corzin have seen them before?
Make a nature check just on the off chance.
Can I again do the same because I'm from somewhere else? I just found this interesting.
That's Oh, that's
It's
another
12
13.
from Celestia.
Celestia,
Scamp
you,
knows nothing.
Celestia, you've read about them.
But I've not seen one.
But you've not seen one. Corzin, you saw a pet one once that someone happened to have. But yeah, you know that they are a swamp-dwelling creature, type of dinosaur. That they do have. They're essentially just small predators, usually opportunistic scavengers, for the most part, rather than attackers. But you have heard that that a pack of say 5 or so might choose to attack a lone traveller if they thought they could get away with it. But yeah, they're nothing like the really large monsters and giant lizards that you've heard about, and those don't seem to have been mentioned. Really, the alligator would be a much bigger threat.
So long as we're armed, we should be fine.
Yeah,
Okay, good to know.
so.
Good to know.
Right. Well, thank you very much for your time. And she sort of shoos you out of the shop. Okay. Do you guys want to take a little bit of time to sober up before you visit the main?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to say
Okay.
time for our break. We'll join you shortly, listeners. Until then, fare thee well.
I am a baby great Harris Hawk, and that horrible crew of pirateers killed my parents. The only thing that keeps me still wanting to be alive is to think of Flintlocks and Fireballs having hundreds and hundreds of likes and subscribers. My parents are dead. Please help me.
Hello, and welcome back to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where we resume about an hour later after our party have managed to achieve a semblance of sobriety.
I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
fine.
I'm absolutely fine.
Oh, I actually am an all.
You're too small
That's
to hold your
21.
liquor, both of you.
Yeah, no, you've sobered up entirely. So,
Okay, I'll roll
yeah,
for
we'll
that.
see how much you
I
sobered
was
up.
fine anyway.
Actually, yeah, no, I'm fine.
Yeah,
That was a 17 on
Oh,
the
that's
die.
pretty
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're both now actually pretty much
Surprising.
sober. You've recovered enough.
Actually, yeah, with the Constitution, that's non-natural
Yeah.
20.
Glad you're sober, just in case he's super evil or anything.
Yeah, you've now sufficiently recovered to meet a member of the town council. Yeah, meet the leading member of the town council. As you
I'm
said.
just going to readjust my cloak, put the beard back on properly, and just tuck my tail in again.
So
Definitely a
you,
dwarf.
yep. So you find yourself at a large, reasonably large, and I say reasonably large, like it might contain as many as 5 rooms. This is a small town. Brick building, which again impressive foundations given the marshy terrain. And you can see that there's actually a couple of blue uniformed guards at the door, just in continual guard position. They have muskets, but they're not presenting them. And one of them nods to you as you approach. Hello there. Looking to see are you looking to see the mayor by any chance?
Yes, Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you. Put a hand out.
He doesn't shake his hand because he's currently busy holding his rifle.
I
in the guard's
turn
hands.
it into
Sorry,
a little
musket.
awkward flourish instead and make it into a bow.
I attempt to do the same thing.
Right. There are 3.
I just wave hello.
That'll be the 3 of you that the mayor was looking to speak with. Well, all right. He takes a key out, unlocks the door, and opens it. All right. Well, I believe the mayor is in his study at the moment. So, first door on the right.
Thank you very much.
And indeed, there's a small hallway, and taking the first door on the right, there are a total of 4 doors here. You find yourself in a small study. There is a desk with a comfortable-looking chair behind it, 3 comfortable, smaller chairs set out in front of it, and although there's not necessarily that much in the room, there is definitely a look that it's all the best that its owner can afford. It's an imported walnut desk. There are small but beautifully done paintings on the wall. One of a pastoral scene, one showing two people next to each other, both with blonde hair and blue eyes. One quite tall, kind of chiseled looking, and a much smaller, younger girl, probably about 4, judging from her appearance in the portrait. And there's a small bookcase filled with very nicely bound, at the very least, looking books. And you can see set in the chair behind the desk, and rising as you enter, is a male human with blonde hair, blue eyes, chiseled jaw, and just strikingly beautiful features. He is wearing a very nice sort of brown waistcoat with a cream, possibly silk or very fine cotton shirt, and some tweed trousers. Well, hello there. Absolute pleasure to meet the three of you. Mayor Off. And he extends his hand out to you, Celestia, first of all.
Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you.
Fantastic. He gives you, bizarrely, a perfect handshake. And then
perfect handshake.
Perfect. It's absolutely like the pressure, the amount of force. It's perfectly calibrated to your standards of handshaking.
It's Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh God! It is no.
He shakes your respected hands as well. And if I might know who you are, Sir Dwarf.
Oh shit, that's me. I Scamp.
Pleasure to
Surname.
meet you, Scamp. Scamp surname. He claps your hand and claps you on the shoulder as well, and then goes to you. And of course, fine sir.
Corzin Horhace.
Pleasure to meet you,
Pleased
Master
to meet you.
Horhace. From what I've heard, you are a fine halfling with a swivel gun. Well, first of all, can I fix you anything to drink? I have a bit of brandy. Should you require it? That's all right.
Yes, I'll take brandy.
Okay,
Why not?
one brandy.
I can hold my
Yeah,
liquor
I'll
better
go for
than
brandy
some
too.
people.
Scamp, you
I'll
take
go
one as
over
well?
both of them.
I have made a wisdom check to see how smart I am about this, so I will have some brandy.
Oh my
Okay, he pours everyone
We're all having
He pours
brandy.
everyone a reasonably measured snifter of brandy. He gets 4 out.
Excellent.
Has one himself. As he's doing so, there's a small knock at the door, and you can see there is a girl there, about maybe coming up to 7 years of age, short, blonde, blue-eyed human girl. She is, well, as more beautiful than she was in the picture. You know, like as beautiful as small children get. You know,
She's adorable.
like she's
Yeah.
adorable. She has those really round eyes, and she could easily be the star of some sort of kids movie about getting lost and finding your dog.
There's ribbons.
Yeah, there are ribbons.
This girl,
There are
I can
ribbons in
sense
this girl. In girl's hair.
So out of character for a second, was the mayor supposed to be an orc as well as the other guy?
No, he's human.
I've got
No,
confused.
he
He was always
never-
human,
They just
just
said
super ugly.
Yeah, he was just ugly as an orc.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got confused. I had them down as little orc mates together.
Yeah,
but
that was what I was thinking, actually. I was under the impression he was...
No, human. Just
super ugly human.
yeah, super ugly.
Okay.
People
So-
here are dicks and judge entirely on looks.
Apparently
by the sound
so. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the girl comes in. Father, I was wondering if I could ask Marie and Tim and maybe Jimothy round to the party tomorrow. That will be fine, my dear. Danny's just got to talk to these very, very intriguing people here. Why don't you see if you can help cook with dinner? Oh, okay. And she gives you a little curtsy and runs off. My heart and joy there, Clara.
Timothy's not a name.
There's a long history of children called
carry on,
Jimothy in this world. There's a town called Jimothy somewhere.
We're going to Jimothy.
Oh, wait, we have to go to Jimothy. I want to go.
So, as you sit down with your drinks, roll constitution checks.
Yes.
Saves.
Oh no. Oh!
That'll be a natural
Oh,
one
dear.
then.
23.
That would be a 6.
Okay, both.
These are saves, aren't they?
Yeah, saves. So
Yeah, 23.
Okay, you hold the brandy dwarf style. It's not dwarven fire whiskey, so you're doing reasonably well by comparison. The other two, you can just start to feel the warm glow of alcohol sink back into your hindbrains as the mayor sits down. Well, on to the matter of business. Now, first of all, I'm afraid the reason I've asked to meet you all privately like this is that this is a matter of some delicacy. So I'm afraid I must ask you not to repeat any of this beyond these walls. A lot of people could take this sort of thing the wrong way.
Don't worry, we're good at secrets.
Really? Okay. Fair enough. No, he's going to take your word on this. So he says, well, I heard about your dispatching a ghoul, from what I understand, and maybe dispatching foul creatures is sort of what I have in mind. You see, tomorrow, the 14th of Falling Leaves, is my dear Clara's 7th birthday. We've got a big party planned. Lots of the kids from the town are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Jimothy.
Including, yes, young Jimothy. Jimothy
not a
Jr.,
name.
actually. I imagine his father, Jimothy the Carpenter, will be there as well.
Is Jimothy the second?
Yes.
Okay.
He could be Jimothy the Third of the Dynasty. Do not fuck with the DM on this. You will lose.
Well, there's the simple fact of the matter is, I'd like to hire you to kill a witch, and I'm willing to.
Oh, so she's real.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
We've heard fairy story type rumours, but we didn't know she was actually
No,
there.
unfortunately, I can attest that she's a real creature. I'm willing to offer 10 gold crowns each for this, so 30 in total. See, the problem is the witch, they call her Olga Gristleguns, she's been causing problems for years, ever since I was a boy. The usual type, she weaves spells and curses, makes people sick, fouls the crops. So there's some people even think she brings on storms. Don't know how much I believe about that, but she's definitely a malign influence. Now, I can tell you where to find her, where she lives. My advice to you, though, if you do take this on, would be not to engage her directly. Don't try and fight her hand to hand, and definitely don't talk to her. She has a reputation for being a conniving, manipulative old hag. No, my advice would be, if you can find her home, and from what I understand, it's an old tree that's kind of shaped like a grasping claw that she's built a house into the middle of. Just burn it down. I can supply you with lamp oil, maybe even a horn of black powder to help get you started. But just keep the door, block the door, or burn the whole thing down. I think it's the only way to be safe.
Right. Any particular reason you want this done tomorrow?
Make a persuasion check.
Fuck. That's a 9.
Well, that's not usually good.
Bollocks.
Simply put, I think it's just the fact that you will be leaving the day after tomorrow, from what I understand about how things are, and we don't get that many capable problem solvers of this type. And Well, it's not something I necessarily want to involve the soldiers with. They have... there's always a bit of a balance between the civilian and the military power here in Peder's March, and not to mention the possibility of soldiers, being, well, maybe even talking to her and getting twisted around by any lies she might tell them.
And what sort of lies does she tell?
Oh, whatever she wants. You know the way witches go. They are quite deceitful sights.
And she's definitely evil.
Oh yes, no, she's been causing problems for many a year. Supposedly, some poor souls will think to go out and try to get her help with things, and it always comes back to bite them.
How much of this do we believe?
Yeah, like genuinely.
Make an insight check.
Can everyone do that? Is that...
Yeah.
Yeah. I might make mine at disadvantage because
Yes.
I'm drunk.
Oh, do I do that as well?
Actually, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are drunk.
I'm
am
sober! So that's a 19 for me.
Okay.
Oh, God.
That's going to be a
That is,
7 for
that
me.
would be a straight 3 for me.
Okay, so Corzin and Celestia,
You guys are so insightful.
with the warm glow of alcohol assisting you, this seems fairly legit. Yeah, this seems like a witch's MO.
Yeah, he seems like a great
Yeah.
guy.
Scamp, no, he is definitely hiding something, and he's probably telling a couple of porkies of his own to hide it. I will say that as he was talking, however, Scamp, you noticed his eyes flick for a moment to the portrait on the wall.
What is the portrait? Which one?
It's the portrait
of the family?
of himself and his daughter. Yeah.
Okay.
Dorian Gray.
The portrait looks pretty much exactly the same as he does now.
They're not like written in old like reasons in it or anything. Oh.
Well, we were going to go that way anyway, so we'll see what we can do, I guess.
Yeah, we'll look into the matter.
Right. Well, I'm afraid if you do want the lamp oil and the black powder, I will need your word on it. Unless you want to solve this your own way, I can understand you might have other means at your disposal.
Can I just make some fire in my hand and go, I think we've got it covered.
All right. Yes,
Pretty
I think
good
you
with
do.
fire as a party.
Very impressed.
Are you looking for any entertainment at your daughter's birthday party? Celestia's pissed.
Well, I mean,
I've got a lot of instruments. I'm very good.
well, all right. We do have a couple of old fiddlers in town, but I'm sure that a professional would be very much appreciated. I'm afraid we're all booked out for the most part on the budget, so you'll be playing for tips.
I'm very good at getting tips.
Well, that's all right then.
Perhaps I will swing by. She does a sort of swinging little flourish with her arm, a little pissed, gesture.
He swirls his own. He swirls his own brandy, not intoxicated because, unlike you, he hasn't pre-drunk.
Yeah, Celestia's just
For the
down
sake
there,
of
just like she shot at it, sort of thing.
Well, all right. Unless there's anything else, any other information you need, as I say, you want to head to the centre of the swamp and look for a gnarled tree shaped like a grasping claw.
Okay. Well, we will do that. Lovely to meet you. Maybe see you tomorrow. I put out my hand because I want to feel his handshake again. I want to
Okay,
understand.
he shakes again, and once again, it is a perfect.
I
handshake.
hang on for a minute to speculatively try and understand how this is working.
Yeah.
I'm not shaking his hand. I can't tell.
Okay. I mean, you can shake it as well if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives you another shake.
Does his hand feel like the hand what I can see?
Make an insight check.
Oh, interesting question.
That's
yeah.
a good question.
Someone's not drunk.
17.
The power, although technically the handshake is again perfect, the muscles, the strength actually feels a little stronger than the slightly, not quite dainty, but slender hand would reveal. Just from a handshake, you can't quite tell whether exactly, but yeah,
There's something off.
There's more strength in there than you'd expect. for the size of his hand, and yeah, something about the quality of his skin just feels a little grainier than it looks.
Very interesting.
Like more like because he looks like he's got like a scribe's hands, but they feel a bit more like a workman's.
It's an illusion.
Okay. I mean, did you say that in character? Like,
No,
was this
no, I
problems?
do
Like-
not. I am sober enough to not do that.
Yeah.
You're not just going to magic because it's illusion.
Okay. The three of you are politely escorted out, with your business having been conducted. You find yourselves back in the street.
Did anyone else notice how amazing his handshake was?
It was weird.
It was
didn't
really
match
good.
The hand. It didn't match the hand.
Really?
So we need to talk to this witch, right? That's got to happen.
I mean, he sounds
He
pretty
sounds
legit,
like-
but at the same time, I feel
No,
slightly.
he doesn't.
He
He sounds like a man who sold his soul to a witch and now doesn't want anyone to know.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, now you put it like that, that does kind of.
I
make a bit
mostly
of
feel
sense, but-
uncomfortable about burning an old lady that I don't know in her house.
That is super shady, guys.
Like,
So let's hold on a second. Hold on. Now, on the one hand, we've got the option of going with what Ruprecht said, in that we've got to somehow get into the mayor's house and steal away
well,
something
if we
of
decide
his.
that we want to do that, there's a party there tomorrow.
Or
It's not a bad.
Yeah.
There's lots of distractions.
that's a very, very good point. Or we've got to go with what the mayor wants and go into the swamp and find this witch.
Burn her alive in her house.
I mean,
Or we admit that
Yeah,
both
I
these
mean-
guys are assholes. We go and talk to the witch.
I think.
Neither of these are good people.
I think Scamp has a point. I've had her on the head, sort of like slightly drunkenly. It's like slightly too hard.
Watch the horns. Watch the horns.
Sorry. And I think we don't really know anyone around here, and I do feel a little bit weird about just burning an old woman I don't know in her home.
A little bit.
I think maybe we should talk to her, and then if
Have
she
you
is
ever-
evil, we can burn her in her home. That's fine. But if she isn't, then
Have
maybe
either of
we
you
should
ever
steal off
encountered
the
a witch
mayor, because
before?
maybe he's the crazy one.
have either of you ever encountered a witch?
I
before?
don't
as
know.
the DM,
Have I?
I'm just going to say no.
Okay.
None of you have.
Yeah, no.
No, I don't know witches.
Right. Well, you hear stories, and one of the many things that witches are famed with being able to do is, as the man says, being very beguiling and twisting people to their whims. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily it's as serious as just not talk to the person, but we've got to bear in mind, if we are going to, then that's a significant possibility. God, that was strong.
It was very, very
Oh
strong.
yeah, that was that looked to that had the actually roll a history check.
History.
I don't feel like Celestia would know this, so
No.
I'm not going to do one.
Scab knows that.
Okay, that is going to be a 17.
Oh yeah, that was Karen. That was actually Ferosian brandy from the distant southern, sort of large island rather than continent of Feroz, made by the local halflings there, who brew alcohol about strong enough to contest dwarves. Which also means that shit was expensive, because that's imported.
That must, yeah.
Wow.
We probably just drank the equivalent of what we made on the last leg of this trip
shit, that man is
alcohol
rich.
today.
He didn't even know us.
Hang on, that's another good point, actually. How does the man who started off as a fisherman
Yes, how has he done all
go
of
from
this?
being a fisherman to the mayor of the town
Because he make a deal
and being
with a
so
witch.
fabulously wealthy? Well, you
You
make
do
a
make
very
a
good
point.
point there, but
But
If that's the case, then surely some other people must know, or at least suspect something's up.
Also, though, right, the thing is, say we do think that he has made a deal with this witch person, right? Why has he only bothered about it now? Why hasn't he murdered her years ago? I just think it's a little bit funny that his daughter's 7th birthday is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, it's all a bit, why
He
now?
did keep looking at a picture of her.
Did he?
How drunk are you two?
I didn't...
The accurate picture, yeah, I remember that.
I'm fairly drunk, to answer your question.
Okay.
Celestia is kind of swaying us slightly. I say
Probably
this
looks
only,
like a tree in
Corzin
the
even
wind
more so,
to
she's-
you're so small.
I only say this because Ellie is
He's-
swaying in real life when she's doing this.
You've got to sway to do drunk acting,
Yes,
that's
yes, you
how it works.
He's rolled a natural 1.
I did roll something very low, it was like a 5 or
Yeah,
something.
no,
So
all the rum
I
you
went
had
with
earlier
it,
has
yeah.
also caught up with you.
Should we go and see the witch then?
I guess we go kill some cockatrices and
No,
find
on
a
the
witch.
way.
That's probably what we should do
Yeah.
first.
Well, I mean, let's go through the
That's
cockatrice bit
firstly
because she's
what
right
we
in the
should
middle,
do.
isn't she, with them? So maybe they're pets
Yeah.
or something.
Oh dear, that's not encouraging.
Okay.
I don't know enough about them to know what their breeding habits are, but maybe they're social creatures.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys have already had a nature check to see what you know about cockatrices, and the answer was not that much. Okay, so you taking care of whatever needs you have, you prepare to head deeper into the swamps. First of all, I'm going to ask for a survival check from whoever is leading the group.
I'm definitely not
Yeah,
leading.
making your way
Oh, no.
towards the swamp centre.
I'm
I
trying to
think
sober up
probably
at the
it
back.
should be-
Like,
Okay, Corzin.
Now, survival is wisdom
Yep.
based, and this means that I will either be rolling with disadvantage or not, depending on how long it takes for me to sober up, because it's wisdom.
I'm going to say
based.
disadvantage for this first check, but by the time I ask you to make another check, you will have sobered up.
and I suppose that goes
Yeah,
for me
same
too,
for you, because
obviously.
you'll be walking for about an hour or two at that point.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, it's not actually too bad. That's more than I thought. 17.
Okay, despite your day drinking, you were
So
you
much
st-
day
you
drinking. Like,
still-
what time is it at this point?
It is about 2-3 in the
About
afternoon.
2.
Holy shit!
Actually,
What's wrong
yeah.
with us?
So you will you traverse your way into the marshes. Into marsh and then into swamp as it grows more wooded. Working your way through thick lands. Your boots are getting a bit. Those of you with high boots, which is I think only Celestia, you're the only one who doesn't suffer the ill effects of swamp water. Just
I've got the purple thigh boots
Yeah,
to protect me.
come-
I don't have
coming in.
boots.
You are actually fine, yeah, because you've got hooves. So weirdly, it's more that your ankles are cold and wet. Corzin, you're feeling more of the effects of walking through the
And
marsh.
you've got sad wet shoes.
Well, hang on. He's got
But actually,
quite.
no,
He's got
you've got quite high
high
boots
You're
as well.
really short.
Yeah, so actually, no, all three of you are surprisingly okay for the most part.
He's got jack
Yeah, you
boots.
do. You're actually fine.
Yeah, the tiny child-sized
Yeah.
jack boots.
Okay, so
Yeah, tiny, small, probably size
Yeah.
2.
as
jack
you're working your way
so
through
little.
the ground, there is actually a point, and I'm going to ask you. Can I ask you all for a perception check, please?
Yep.
Yep. Do I still have
No,
disadvantage on
no.
this, or
This is now about 4:00. You guys have sobered. So.
11.
Alright,
Oh
perception.
god, 4.
9.
How am I the most perceptive?
Okay.
Because you weren't dating
About part of
as
the way.
much.
Yeah, as much. Yeah, you've actually been matching the other two, drink for drink. So we can
I
only
feel like
assume.
you've eaten a lot of shit out
Yeah.
of bins in your time.
Yeah.
You're pretty hardy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
infernal constitution going on there. So yeah, as you work your way through, Scamp, you spot about two hours into the travel, a little shape suddenly twitch its head in the in between the foliage and the wet swamp. And as you look, you can see that there is a small feathered bipedal dinosaur. It has brownish orange, brown and orange sort of feathers. So it actually, in the light filtering through, it's still overcast by the way. In the light filtering through the leaves, it's almost invisible. But you spot it, and as you look around, you see that there's about 4 or 5 of them, and they kind of halt from following you and seeming to size you up. Before, after having done that, they look at each other. One of them tilts its head at the other, and you just hear it sort of give off a little chittering sound, and then they all break away, having decided that apparently you are too large a group of targets for them to take anyone down.
Oh, that's kind of adorable.
Yeah, just a handful of accurately sized velociraptors. However,
feathers as well are so great.
Distracted as you are, however, all 3 of you do not realise until you put one foot into a sudden bit of the bog, which just is a lot deeper than you expected, and all 3 of you are suddenly plunged into what is essentially quicksand.
Okay.
Is it like that bit in Princess Bride?
It's pretty much exactly like the bit in Princess Bride.
That's cool and also horrible.
Yes. All 3 of you are suddenly sinking. Can I have an athletics check, please, from everyone?
Oh god, help.
Alright.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's one of the first good checks I've rolled today. That's a 17.
Okay, 17 from Celestia.
7.
7.
Oh,
God.
Okay, Celestia,
Both
you
of
grab
us.
hold of a nearby vine and manage to pull yourself out onto the side. However, the other 2 are now down to, because of respective weight levels, they're actually both down to about chest level and slowly sinking.
Okay.
You both get the feeling that, actually no, it's slightly more, it's more like neck level. You both get the feeling that you could make maybe one more attempt to get out of this without on your own. But after that, you might run the risk of sinking in.
Celestia is going to start tying a rope from her climber's kit around a tree and tying it around her waist while they're making their checks.
Who do you want to try and save first?
I'm going to try and save... I think I'm going to try and save Corzin because he's smaller. And I'm actually worried about, he'd sink more quickly because he's tiny.
Okay, so yeah, quickly and silently, while the other 2 are sort of
Scrambling,
trying to scramble, you loop the rope round. You make a lasso for Corzin to grab hold of. I'm going to allow you to make an athletics check with advantage. Because you are still sinking, I'm going to still ask you to make an athletics check to at least try and stay where you are.
So am I making it with advantage?
You are making it with advantage because you're the one who has the leverage.
That's a 15.
Oh god, mate. That would be a 10 with advantage.
Okay, Scamp, you actually managed to crawl out just about. You grab onto some onto some harder ground and pull yourself, and with a heavy sort of sound, you manage to get out. Corzin, however, as you try and struggle, you can just feel the quicksand moving beneath you, and you sink under. You can you can hold your breath. Corzin can hold his breath for 3 rounds because of sudden suffocation rules. So, what would the 2 of you like to do in your first 6 seconds of trying to save
18
Corzin?
seconds. Jesus,
Celestia is actually going to do a different tack. She's going to tie the rope round her waist and literally try and sort of go in and get him. Basically.
Okay, I'm going to say make another athletics check with advantage.
Okay, let's hope this is better. Come on. Okay, that's a 16.
Okay, you reach in and you actually go kind of almost entirely under for a moment. Scamp, as you're sort of staring at everything going on, behind you, unseen, a large rat-like figure crawls past.
Literally in Princess Bride, this is the best thing.
Then slinks into the woods completely unnoticed. Before, with what would surely be an upswelling of dramatic music, Celestia pulls herself out of the swamp muck, Corzin kind of held under one arm, both of you gasping for breath.
Oh God.
Alright, new rule. No bloody day drinking.
Day drinking is bad for people.
Should we maybe tie ourselves together?
Doesn't that mean that if one of us falls in, all of us
No, it
fall
means if
in?
one of us falls in, the other two can immediately pull them out.
No, but also, if, I'd rather trust it to luck,
Just try not
and
to
that
fall
there
in,
are
alright?
trees.
Yeah. Looking around, you can see that the lightning sand, as it were, does have a slightly distinctive, whiter sort of appearance to the rest of the boggy marsh. So you should be able to avoid it in future. I'm going to ask you to make, however, everyone at their choice may either make a nature or insight check at this point.
Okay, I'll go for nature.
Ugh, 4.
Nature or insight. Do I have anything?
18.
Okay, nature. Oh, that's a 21. Yes.
Nice.
Only got 2 for
Corzin,
nature, rolled a 19.
as you guys are sort of breathing and brushing off the various swamp crap that has sort of has appeared on your clothing, you look round and you notice there are 6 clumps of old dead wood and twigs around this patch that were not here a minute ago. Celestia,
Oh dear.
as Corzin sort of puts a hand on your arm and you look round. Yeah,
Hey, have you noticed that?
yeah. As you look around and he points them out, you suddenly remember an old lesson from your from your tuition, and you recognise these for what they are. Well, they look to the ordinary observer like just piles of old twigs, and indeed they appear to be exactly that until these carnivorous plants, known as twig blights, rouse themselves and attack. They appear to be quiescent, waiting for you to move, possibly waiting for you to move away from the lightning sand. But yeah, they have encircled you.
These are twig blights. They attack people.
Alright.
Yep, we're properly surrounded, and they're waiting for us to move.
Right, I'm just going to cast Mage Armour really quiet.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
tie
you
the
do
leather
that.
around your horn and feel your horn's strength cover your skin.
Do I know anything about strengths or weaknesses or anything like that?
Yes, you do. One moment. So,
Monster manual happens.
yeah, the monster manual happens. Yeah, with the 20, what was it, 21?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know pretty much all there is to know about these things.
Excellent.
You know that they are individually quite weak, but that they mostly attack with the element of surprise. They can produce some very nasty scratches with the thorns that are hidden within them. You know that they are extremely vulnerable to fire, however, being essentially composed of deadwood.
Okay.
They cannot be blinded or deafened. But yeah, essentially a good hit with a flaming torch or a heavy rock might be enough to do them in.
Okay, so I imagine stuff like psych damage is going to be bollocks on them because they're bushes.
Yeah, they are essentially bushes. It's not going to do too well on them.
Do they see?
Apparently, you know that they can see without sight.
They see, but not
Blind sight.
with eyes. Also, fire is good. Hitting them is good.
So
They're quite
an illusion
weak.
wouldn't work.
Probably not.
Illusions tend to be either sound or sight based. Yeah, so
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, I mean, if you whack them once
I've
with a
been
thing,
in this
they might.
situation before.
You know,
We don't run, that's what they expect. We strike.
we've got to get in there.
So, shall I just start chucking fire at them?
Yep.
Is that... Okay, let's do that then!
okay. This is I'm going to say initiative because neither of the party is surprised. So if I can ask you to roll initiative, please.
Ooh,
For them.
yeah, that's not bad.
I'll be an 11 for me.
17!
Oh, also 17. What's your dex, babe?
2.
Oh, mine's also 2. Interesting. Shall we do a little
roll
D20
off
fight?
for it, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a 14.
I got a 4.
Okay, so that's me first.
So Celestia, then Scamp, then Twigs. Okay, so Celestia, you go first.
Oh god,
By a hair's breadth.
I don't think I have anything like torches or whatever, do I?
You gotta have torches,
Do
surely.
I have torches or not?
You do have torches. You don't have
Okay.
them lit. But I'm going to
Would it
say
take an action to light a torch?
Yeah, I'm going to say it takes an action because you've got a quick working tinderbox. None of you, to my knowledge, have matches, but which would make it a bonus action. But
No, I don't think we would. Yeah, I am going to light a torch.
okay, you quickly grab one of the because you have a couple of oil-soaked torches.
Yeah, and wave it around, setting
Kind
it.
of basically flick the tinderbox for like 6 seconds, trying to get the thing to light.
Yeah.
But you now have a burning torch as a tool. It does a base damage of 1d4 fire damage, but these things are vulnerable to fire damage, so they take double damage.
Oh, nice.
So it's 1d4 fire plus probably your strength.
And what's it to hit? Like, what's the
It would be
bonus?
it's a strength-based weapon.
Okay,
so you're
cool.
doing it's strength plus proficiency, attacking with a torch. Okay.
Okay, also, do I have a bonus action?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give Scamp inspiration, so I'm going to turn around and hold the torch sort of under my face, like when you're doing a ghost story, and it sort of like lights up my face
Yeah.
from underneath and go, use your fire, Scamp. Get ready. Hit them with things. Celestia's not feeling very very eloquent today.
You've
Scamp.
got quicksand in your hair.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
great, but you're still inspired somehow.
Yeah.
So you get a D6.
The quick.
This is not a finger puppet
Yeah.
type
Nah,
of day.
that's the Tash of Thaddeus laughter. That's a whole different game. These things don't find finger puppets funny because they're bushes. So.
Yeah,
So-
because they basically are finger puppets.
Scamp.
So we're completely surrounded.
Yeah. They are
not
basically at in radial directions around you.
Then I will just attempt a fireball at something.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
That's good. That's a 24.
That hits. Roll damage.
I've forgotten what that is. It's a D10. Ooh, 7.
Okay, yeah, it is completely toast. As the streak of fire comes out of your hand, it smacks into the pile of apparent twigs, and you see them suddenly spring up and forming an almost humanoid-looking shape before they struggle backwards and collapse. You would almost expect like a tinny scream to accomplish it, but instead it's more like just like a desperate rattling of wood against wood before it falls into the marsh and continues to burn away. At this, however, the other 5 immediately rouse up, these piles just forming tiny humanoid twig men. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Blair Witch Project, but if you have, think of the little wicker twig men in the trees. Basically like
I've
those.
not seen that,
Oh,
but
right, yeah.
I can
Yeah.
go for really
You
big,
could-
scary
you could-
bow truckles.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, basically think evil bow truckles.
I've seen
okay.
twig blights. I know what they look like.
Yeah. So at this point, they are going to attack. I'm going to say, they seem okay. Would they be more willing to hit the person with fire, or the more? Actually, no. They'd be more willing to hit. So only one of you has launched fire. One of you has fire right now, and one of you doesn't. So only one is going to attack Celestia because you've still got a torch. 2 are going to hit Scamp, and 2 are going to go for Corzin. So Celestia first. Does a 15 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Okay. These things are adorable. Okay, you take... Oh, still though, you take 4 points of piercing damage as they just rake... one of them managed to get its tiny twigs around your... I'm going to say one of your thighs and just rakes through it.
Whoa.
And blood starts to flow freely, kind of staining your clothing.
I mean, we're level 2, so
Yeah.
that's actually quite a
Yeah.
lot.
It's actually quite a lot of blood
Yeah.
soaking down. Okay, 2 are going to go for Scamp. That's a 7. That's an 18 from 1. Does an 11? I don't think an 11 hits you. Okay, the one that does manage to get you, again, slashes you with its thorns for 2 points of damage. Actually, I'm going to say slashing damage, actually. Okay, 2 are going to attack Corzin. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, that wasn't close. That was a 7, so you're fine. and an 8. They try and launch themselves on you, but you just sort of expertly step out of the way. And they kind of end up in a little pile on the ground.
Not happening today, lads.
Okay, that makes it Corzin's go.
Right, the two that have just come at me, I'm going to attempt to slash each one of them in turn. Alright, that's going to be an 18
that
for the
hits.
first one.
Roll attack for the second one.
And a 12 for the second one.
The 12, it just manages to roll out of the way and you just get swamp water on your sabre instead. But the first one hits, roll damage.
Fair enough. That's 10
Okay, yeah,
damage.
it's like cutting through old dry wood. It just splinters into pieces as it goes. That one, so 2 of the twig blights are now down. Top of the round, that makes it Celestia again.
Okay, I'm going to go for the one who's nearest to me. Probably the one that's just hit me, actually.
Yeah.
And do a sort of, unnecessarily spin round with my sword. I don't need to, but I'm going to
just for
anyway,
style.
and I'm going to hit it.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Okay, oh, God, that is rubbish. That is an 8.
Okay, no, it just...
I
flushes
keep
out of the
spinning
way.
and sort of trip, and it doesn't look great.
No, you overextended on that one.
I overspun.
Yeah. Okay, Scamp, you're up next.
So I'm in melee, aren't I?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, anything ranged is going to be at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
But on the other hand, it's probably worth it for the fire. Because I don't... Melee's not my strong point.
No.
So I will firebolt the one that's right in front of me.
Firebolt's such
One
a
of
good
the ones,
spell.
there's 2 of them, isn't there?
Yeah, there's 2.
So I will go. I'll go for the one that hit me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. What's your inspiration dice? Is it a D6?
D6.
Yeah, D6, babe.
Is that going to be enough? Sod it. I'll try and add inspiration to that.
Okay.
Nope. That's not going to be good. That's an
Oh.
11.
No, just not quite. Not close, but not quite enough.
Celestia wasn't that inspiring. So.
As both of them are slashing and weaving around you, it's just kind of hard to keep track of this thing that's really quite fast, and you just the fire just sputters uselessly into the mud. Okay, unless you want to have a bonus action or anything you'd like to, or movement or similar you'd like to take, the twigs will go next. So still one on Celestia. That might hit. That's a 17. Yep.
Oh, that definitely
hits. You take another 3 points of slashing damage as it continues to savage your legs.
If I get murdered by a bush, I'm going to be so annoyed. Like, for fuck's sake.
2 are still after. Okay, one of them.
Need to work on
One
your
of
bush
them
craft.
missteps, and I'm going to roll.
Oh,
I'm going
dear.
to roll a. Oh dear! I'm going to roll an athletics check for it. Has a -3. It missteps and gets caught in the lightning sand and just starts sinking, scrabbling desperately in an attempt to escape, but just being pulled down.
Oh.
Natural one. Okay. The other one, however, gets an 18 and does another 3 points of slashing damage to Scamp as it rakes you with its thorns. So the one remaining on Corzin, that's a 13.
Nope.
Okay, yeah, you
Not
just
today.
it slashes you, but it catches you on the low-profile leather you wear and doesn't manage to score its way through.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of which, Corzin, this is your go.
Right. He's just going to go the same way as his friend. Okay, that's a... that's 23.
That hits. Roll damage.
And, okay. The second one doesn't, so... Oh, and it's another 10 slashing damage.
Okay, yeah, no. Just shatters into pieces with a blow. It seems that you're favouring your right arm today. Okay, there's still 2 of the little twig lights left. One on Celestia, one on Scamp.
Okay, I'm going to try and move on them in a menacing manner.
Yeah, okay. You get up to... you get close to them. You'll be in a position to make an attack on whichever one you want. Next
Right.
round. Celestia.
Celestia's going to abandon all grace and just try and smack one of them with a twig. It's not graceful,
Yeah.
just like, ah!
Okay, make an attack roll.
Okay, fuck's sake. It's an 11.
Again, this thing is fast. It just swoops past as you're trying to get it.
Celestia flails.
Okay, do you want to do with your bonus action or?
How many inspirations do I have? You know what? I'm actually going to save the rest.
Yep, you don't get those back to
Yeah,
long rest.
I'm going to leave it, I think.
Okay, Scamp. Still one on you, one on Celestia.
Yeah, fireball to get. It's right.
Okay,
in the face.
go for it.
Just sort of panicking and trying to chuck fire. Oh, God, 2 8s, which become 15.
That hits.
Yay!
Nice.
2!
Times 2, but doubled because of the power of fire, and that's enough. It is roasted alive, you guess? And again, it lets off a little clattering sound as it struggles for a few moments before collapsing and burning away. The twig on Celestia can see which way the fight is turning and is going to use a disengage action and try and run as fast as its tiny legs can carry it, which is 20 feet. They
So
cannot
not
actually
very
move
fast.
very fast. Yeah. Corzin, you could actually manage to catch up with it and make an attack if you wanted.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Go for it.
Oh, not sure that hits. That's an 11.
That does not.
But do I do get a second
Yeah,
attack,
you get a
don't
second
I?
one.
That's a little bit better. 21.
Okay, that one hits. Roll damage.
Okay, that's 7 damage.
And with a last smack, the final twig blight is absolutely shattered, splintering into little fragments.
It's like the Brums in Fantasia.
Yay.
Yeah, pretty much exactly.
Fun.
Okay, you all take a moment to breathe. The ambush has been
God.
thwarted.
So you alright?
Not massively, if I'm honest.
I'm
Um,
okay.
I need to look up how Song of Rest works.
It works on a short rest. If
Short rest?
You guys can probably find a slightly firmer bit of ground if you want to take an hour.
How are we all feeling? Do you
to
want
rest.
a short rest?
I think it's probably best that you take that.
Yeah, I
don't
need one.
mind, I'm good.
I could do with one. Because if I use a healing spell, that's one of my not many spells gone. So, I mean,
Yeah.
and also you can all get a d6 if I do one. So, actually, does that work on me? No.
Song of Rest.
Should do.
Yep, it's you as well.
Oh, awesome. So, yeah, Celestia gets her xylophone out in the middle of the swamp while we're taking a short rest. She plays some calming tunes. She sings a song about trees being bastards. It's called Bastard Trees.
Bastard trees.
They are bastards, bastard trees. And everybody somehow feels a little bit better. A whole d6 better, to be precise.
Yeah, so provided you spend at least one hit die, you get an extra 1d6 hit points.
Yeah.
Corzin going, that's catchy. I don't need to spend any hit die, actually, but yeah.
That was the worst roll. I rolled a 1 on my d8 hit dice. Ugh.
Still, you're up.
Although I do get 2 now at least,
Yeah.
because I'm level 2, so
Yeah,
that's...
so you... Oh, you still back up to 9. No,
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
up to a respectable level now. I was
Yeah.
on 4 before, which just isn't good to go into a fight with, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
If anyone else would like to use a hit die now, this would be a good time.
Yeah, if you want to use a hit die, you also get a d6,
Cool.
so go for
Awesome.
Yeah, I only needed the 1d6.
Okay, you take
I rolled
a...
a
it. I
6.
think I can do that, like...
You take an hour to rest, drink some water. One of your shipmates actually bought you a small packed lunch, which you consume.
Aww.
And we're having a bit of time to rest, refresh, do some mild first aid to your various injuries, clean them, bind them.
Yeah.
Sit and be
Can I do a
embarrassed that we
medicine
got
check
slaughtered by
and try
trees.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll let you do a medicine check on this.
yeah. Just to see what I can do for them.
Yeah.
That will be that'll be an unnatural 20.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to say everyone take an extra d4 because
So nice.
just for proper proper healthcare.
Yeah, it's just,
Yes, I'm back up to full. Thank you, Corzin.
get a tourniquet on that and, wrap that around and you've got a freaking open wound there. That's going to get infected like the buggery, so, get that under...
Celestia is not an easy patient. She, wiggles while you fish bits of sand out of her, and she's like, what are you doing? Get off me. Ow.
Were any of your ancestors, by any chance, a halibut? Stay still.
Okay, so having taken some time to rest, you pick yourselves back up and you're now most of the way towards the centre of the swamp, or at least what people are generally considering the centre. I'm going to ask for one more survival check, please.
Survival, okay. 6.
Okay.
We're all rolling
You work your
really
way,
bad checks today.
you work your
really awful ones.
through
I blame the heat.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. As you're working your way through, and it is quite a muggy day, as it is out here, you start to looking for tracks, trying to find some hint. You carry on for another couple of hours, so sunset is coming up. It's starting to get a little dimmer, and you're starting to notice, stuck in the mud, there are the bones of larger-looking fowl and lizards. Things like large sort of monitor lizards, the bones of velociraptors. At one point, what looks like the half-consumed skeleton, mostly consumed skeleton of an alligator, and they are submerged in the mud, but their bones picked clean of flesh. But the mud isn't quicksand. You've been keeping an eye out for that. It's just normal mud, as far as you can tell. And you can't quite seem to work out why it is that these creatures could have so easily become ensnared in the mud proper.
Couldn't be the cockatrices, could it?
Did they turn to stone and then sink and die?
As you're musing upon this, you look around as you're walking, and you kind of notice there are some very weirdly shaped rocks studded in the ground. And it's only the moment when you suddenly, as you put these two together, that you step forward, and not having been paying more attention to the ground as these thoughts, you emerge into a clearing where there is a large nest in the middle of it, built out of twigs and branches, like a literal bird's nest on the ground rather than in the air, in which you can see, currently sitting in it, there are 3 tiny, small birds about the size of chickens. Bird is a generous description. These creatures, there's definitely some bird in them, but they're also very much a cross. These things, they've got the heads of cockerels and much of the same body, but their wings are almost bat-like and bare, and there's a strange spiny nature to them. There's kind of lizard-like appearances as well. And as you see these 3 small ones, you also look up and you notice the 2 adults, both of which are about the size of large turkeys, maybe like buzzards or so on, who notice you, spread their wings in threat displays, and just... Everyone roll initiative.
I am also going to scream. I'm also going...
Okay, new initiative checks, please.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, bloody hell.
Okay, one moment.
6 from me.
Corzin?
I've just got you beat on an 8.
What's wrong with us today? I'm gonna put this dice in the naughty corner. It's doing badly.
So, Corzin was an 8.
Yep.
Celestia, were you the 5 or the 6?
I was the... What, were you 5 or 6? I was the 6, yeah.
I'm 5.
Okay. Yep, Celestia was 6 and Scamp 5. Okay, they beat your initiative.
I mean, I remain unshocked.
Yeah. So the Cockatrice's got a 13.
It's not even that good.
Yep. No. There's two adults, and 3 babes.
Oh no, the babes want to fight too.
Oh yeah, they all 5 of them have just immediately freaked the fuck out at your appearance. You are all you're in a group around 40 feet away from them. So I'm going to say that the adults immediately burst into flight to reach you. The babies can't actually fly; they're not quite big enough, but they waddle over in a dash action. So they've all sort of moved up to be close. They can't work out
if that's cute or terrifying.
Yeah,
a waddle dash.
So I'm going to say it's one. Yes, there's one baby on that will reach up with each of you. First adult chooses Scamp.
Good.
Second adult chooses Celestia.
Okay.
Okay. So two adults first. So I'm going to do Celestia's attacker first. The Cockatrice, winging through the air, immediately just goes straight down, trying to bite you with its beak. Doesn't bother with anything else. So that was a natural 1.
Oh, good.
Yay!
Okay, so that's a natural 1. So it does. So it does 4 points of damage to its companion, but Cockatrices are immune to their own petrification.
That seems sensible.
Yes.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it would be really an evolutionary disadvantage.
It would be a massive evolutionary disadvantage otherwise. Okay, so then the adult attacking Scamp next, and I think at this point we can move to a slightly more active combat music. That would be an 18. Okay, so Scamp, you take 5 points of piercing damage and please make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh god, I don't trust any of my dice. Non-natural 20.
Nice.
Okay, as it strikes you and slashes across your arm, it leaves a heavy graze, and you notice with horror that it seems to stop the edges of where there's blood initially leaking, the blood flow stops and it seems to turn whitish, like it's kind of turning into some sort of chalky stone, but it doesn't spread beyond the graze. All it's done is stop the blood flow.
Oh, that's really scary.
Yeah, it just seems that for whatever reason it hasn't gotten into a bloodstream properly, but the magic hasn't worked its way through your bloodstream.
Oh, it's going to be so shit if one of us turns to stone for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try not to do that then.
Really
okay.
bad.
The 3 babbies are going to attack next. So Babby against Corzin first. That is a 13.
They need a dash to get there.
Oh no, they don't. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Oh, they will attack next round. Thank you for reminding me. Yep, they are not in a position to attack yet. Okay, so that makes it Corzin first of all. You're the only one not currently. I guess you're. Yeah, there is a babby within 5 feet of you, so so you are technically, for the purposes of ranged attacks, within melee with a creature.
All right. Yeah, I'm imagining like large, featherless parrot type things at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty close. There's a few feathers here and there, but they're like a crest around the head, and that's it.
All right, no. If this thing's coming at me, then I'm giving it cutlass.
Yeah. So, do you want to attack the baby in front of you or one of the adults?
Well, am I in range of both?
You are in range of the baby. I'm going to say you can step into range of one of the adults, maybe the one next to Celestia, without getting out of range of the baby.
Right, I will do that. And
Okay.
I'll do a scimitar attack on both.
Okay. Go for it.
Not good, that was an 11.
Versus the baby or the...
Or the adult. The adult was that was against...
Okay, that just hits.
11? Oh, wow, 11.
Yeah, just
Okay,
barely.
right.
Yeah.
Drop that off the table. Sorry. Okay, damage is 9 slashing.
Nice. You deliver a good slash to the side of it. Blood begins to flow forward, but this thing looks surprisingly tough for its size.
Okay, and against the chick. Oh, that's even worse. That's a 9.
No, this thing is frantically flapping about.
Just stay still, damn it.
Okay, Celestia, there are two cockatrices currently wailing on you.
Okay, can I get... Right, how many are within 15 feet of me?
Within 15 feet of you, in a circle?
Yeah, any direction.
All of them.
All excellent.
Yeah, you guys are pretty close to each other.
Fuck it. Okay.
Because also within 15 feet are your companions.
I know.
Okay.
But I don't think Celestia is that clever.
Okay.
So we're gonna do. So I'm gonna get my guitar out,
Yep.
Swing it over from my back. I'm gonna do a power chord slide, so it goes, and then I'm gonna cast Thunderwave.
Oh shit. Okay, so I just need the
Nice.
spell card here.
I'm sorry,
So
Celestia is not a
everyone
considerate
needs to make-
person.
everyone needs to make a Constitution saving
Yep.
throw.
Alright.
Oh, that's a 1.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, you're gonna be really injured. Fuck.
What's the DC on that?
It is.
Oh, I should have used bloody Tides of Chaos.
14.
Oh, I just
God damn it!
failed.
This was a
I
bad
rolled a
idea.
13.
Okay. So I'm going to
should've
do one for
Well,
each
I've
of these.
committed now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's alright, the damage isn't that good.
We're all pushed 10
Yeah, you push
feet
10
back,
feet
though.
back, and you take 3 thunder damage.
Okay.
Well, the good news is...
The good news is I rolled a 3 on 2d8.
All of you have been pushed... all of you, except for Celestia, have now been pushed out of melee range of the cockatrices. None of whom rolled lower than a 16.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So I literally just
One
injured you.
One rolled a natural 20. So they all take 1 point of damage, of thunder damage.
Maybe it's karma for not being considerate about injuring my companions. That's what it is.
Yeah. The babies seem to have taken it slightly worse than the adults just by virtue of their size. Okay, so after knocking your companions back, are they prone as well?
No.
No, just
away.
you managed to catch your footing before you're knocked over into the mud. Scamp, unless Celestia wants to move or take a bonus action.
For my bonus
Actually,
action, do I want to do anything? Yeah, I'm gonna look over at Corzin, put my leg up on a tree, like lunge style, and just do some really awesome chords at him and flick my hair and give him a wink, and I'll give him inspiration.
Okay, Corzin, despite the fact
okay.
that that guitar just blasted you into the air for a moment, you've got to admit, it is cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to
You're
ignore
annoyed,
the
but
fact
it's
that
cool.
that's... Yeah.
That makes it Scamp's go.
Right.
The good news is you are not within melee range now.
Yay! Right, I will pull out my little diamond ring and attempt to cast Chromatic Orb at the one that hit me.
Yep, go for it.
That's a 16 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage. And what damage type are you
Lovely.
using?
I was going to go for cold.
Ooh.
So just a blast of ice.
Yeah.
Well, an orb of ice.
Yeah. Indeed.
Oh, that's really good! I'm so glad you didn't roll that on the Thunderwave. That is 19.
Holy
Got a
shit.
seven and an 8 on my damage, 2 of my dice, and then a 4 on the other, which is still
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah. Okay, you strike the cockatrice dead in the chest, and actually, like a shard of ice is now lodged into its breast. The whole thing is now covered in ice crystals. It's barely able to move. This thing is now is practically on the verge of death, but it speaks more to its sheer berserk attitude that it's alive than to any feat of constitution on its part.
Oh, balls.
Okay, top of the round,
Can
however.
I step back a
Oh,
bit
yeah.
as well? I
Yeah.
just want to get a little bit more out of...
Get a little bit more out of Celestia's range, at least.
Celestia's not very considerate, I'm sorry.
Okay, so...
Loving the
So,
cockatrice noises, by the way.
just-
They're really
I haven't
good.
used Side of Chaos, but you can get me to roll a d20 anytime I do a spell of level 1 or higher.
This is
To
a
see
fair
if
point.
anything
You know what?
happens.
Just for the sake of it, yeah, because this is a dramatic moment. Do me a d20.
That's alright, it's a 6.
Cool. Yeah, it needs to be a 1, I think. So,
Yeah.
okay, so cockatrices. top of the round. So the one on Celestia first. No, that's an 11. It just meant
doesn't hit.
you kind of duck out of the way. The adult is going to fly off to Scamp, sticking to its target. That was an 8. It's moving stiffly. It can barely coordinate with the amount of ice freezing up its muscles. The 3 juveniles next. 10 against Corzin.
Nope.
11 against Celestia.
Nope.
But 17 against Scamp, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Okay. Scamp, you take 2 points of piercing damage. And a new Constitution save.
Oh god. Yeah, just in case, I'm going to use the Tides of Chaos here.
Yep.
I'm going to take that advantage. Oh, that's good, because one of them was a 2, and the other one is a 21.
Okay, yeah. Again, like the only the cut seems to turn to stone, and it doesn't pass any deeper than the rest of you. Whew. Okay, so that makes it Corzin's go.
All right. So,
Yeah, only
Actually, if I'm not
the
in-
only one right in front of you now is the one Cockatrice baby who was chasing after you.
right. No, I'll have to take that one down then.
Okay.
So both attacks on that one.
Okay.
Okay, that's unnatural 20
Yep. Hits.
and a 2. So no, that doesn't hit.
No.
Right. Okay, so the first one. Hooray! That's 5 damage.
Okay, you slice heavily into its body, and it begins to produce gouts of blood. Its tiny berserker rage means it doesn't seem to feel this, but you get the feeling that you've done it a serious injury. Not dead though. Perhaps if the other had hit, but again, this thing is just going around frantically.
Because these things don't understand when they're dead.
Yep. Okay. Don't think you can really move unless you really want to provoke an attack of opportunity for no reason. So Celestia.
Are any of them in good shooting range? 20 foot or over.
I mean, yes, but 2 of them are currently on you and attempting to tackle you.
True.
So if you're using a ranged weapon will provoke disadvantage.
Not great. Okay. Oh, I don't know what to do here. All of my spells are really quite sort of...
Distancing.
Well, not distancy, they're all quite wisdom-based and they're chickens. So I'm like, this might not work that well.
How wise are chickens?
Are they wise enough to be affected by, like, psych damage? Like, that's the question
Make a
that I
nature
really
check.
don't know. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
What dice do I want? I hate all my dice. There we go. Okay, 13?
Yeah, they can be affected by psychic damage. They're not living twigs.
Okay, cool. Now, you know what, I'm going to go for the more damage. I'm actually going to do a rapier attack for the first time ever. I've not done one yet. So
Are
I'm
you
going
going versus baby or parent?
parent,
Okay.
definitely.
Go for it.
I'm going to unsheath my fabulous bejeweled rapier. I'm going to do a little flourish, a really unnecessarily fancy flourish, and I'm going to try and hit the parent with the rapier.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so that's a 13.
That hits!
Yes!
Hey!
Something
It
hits.
basically launches itself onto your rapier blade.
Brilliant!
It's just focused on trying to get to you.
Ah, yes,
Ooh.
that's a 10.
Maximum damage. Nice. Okay. As I said, it launches itself onto your rapier blade. It doesn't pierce any vital organs, but it does go through one of its wing joints. And it basically... You know that moment in Lord of the Rings where the Uruk-hai gets impaled and just kind of drags itself a bit forwards? Yeah, basically the Cockatrice inadvertently does this as it's trying to get closer to you to
It's
peck
so
you.
much worse when it's a giant chicken.
I go, chicken kebabs, anyone?
I'm getting inspiration for that.
I get inspiration for
Yeah,
yes!
you get inspiration for terrible jokes. Okay.
I do that more often.
Okay, so Scamp.
So I'm right in melee with this.
Oh yeah,
No.
with the giant, but with the adult and the baby. Although the adult is actually like really, really bad shape thanks to ice damage.
Okay. I will just sort of push out it and try and cast shocking grasp. Just grab its
Okay,
face.
go for it. Make an attack roll.
No, go away! Oh, that's good. 23.
Okay, you make sure not to grab the beak itself, but manage to slap a hand on the side of its face. Roll damage.
5. 5
And
lightning damage.
as the sparks of lightning cross down its form, you see it twitch, shudder, and then slump to the ground. Okay, one of the adult cockatrices has been slain.
Excellent.
There's still a baby on you if you were planning to try and retreat. However,
No.
okay. So, top of the round is actually cockatrices. Okay, so they're going to stick to their targets. These things are not picky about who they kill, just that they kill anything in sight. So, adult against Celestia first, who's not in great shape. That's a 12. I don't think that hits.
No, not quite.
Okay. Baby against Corzin. Nope. Celestia. Oh. Let's see. Okay. The babby accidentally hits Scamp's babby and does 3 points of damage to it with a furious peck.
They're close enough.
Actually, no, they're not close enough. Okay, in which case, no, it just fails then. Doesn't hit anything. That actual one is wasted. And then one against Scamp, who again just manages to drive its beak into the dirt. It's just too furious. Yeah, it's a lot of ones here.
Jesus.
Okay, so that makes it Corzin's go. Corzin, you are being assailed by one baby who is in poor shape.
Let's see if we can't put this thing out of its misery. Oh, that's good. That's 24.
Yep, that hits. Roll damage.
And that's another 9 damage.
Okay, you slice this baby's head off. It cartwheels through the air for a moment, spraying blood before landing in the muck. That is slain and also neatly decapitated for later collection. You still have your...
Very rare that is a triumphal sentence. You slice the baby's head off.
You still have
I've
your
still
bonus
got one
action.
attack left.
Yep.
Can I move on to the adult one?
Yes, you can. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what I'm going to do.
Yep.
I am going to move in on the adult one. I'm not going to have to move through anything else's space to get there, am I?
No.
Right.
There's a clear line.
Oh, that's not great. But possibly good enough. That's a 13.
That hits. Roll damage.
Alright. Okay, and from the point of view of the rest of you, I've just taken down this young one, run towards it, jump up with my 2 swords and bring it down across the thing's throat and sort of go on guard with it.
Nice.
From a mechanical point of view, I've just cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Ooh.
So that's 10 slashing damage with a further d6.
Okay.
Oh wow, okay, that's 16 slashing damage.
Nice.
I mean, there's a mechanical issue that I'll raise in a moment, but that was too cool not to happen. As you slice the head off the baby, you leap over, and as you land, you decapitate the adult as well, and then just flip up into an on guard. Only the 2 babies are still fighting. These are the 2 babies on Celestia and Scamp. Mechanically, I'm not sure you could really do that because it takes a bonus action to use your other sword. Because you don't.
All right.
Because you don't. I don't think you get a second attack action. 2-weapon fighting lets you take an extra attack with using your bonus action.
But are we rule of cooling it?
I'm rule of cooling that one.
Yeah.
Because that was awesome.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
No, that's
for future.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Okay, so Celestia.
Okay, do I still have it on my sword? The big chicken. Is it still
Yes,
there?
the big chicken's body sans its head.
I would like to try and whack the baby with the mother, please.
Okay, I'm going to say make a rapier attack for the purposes of this.
Just for coolness. Oh, god damn it. That's terrible. It's an 8.
Yeah, no, this
It's
is
too
where
heavy.
you
It's too
kind of
heavy
just
to
sort of
move.
slides off next to it, enraging it further.
Oh dear.
It takes one look at its dead mother and then just screeches. Even harder than before.
God.
These things are like badgers. They fight to the death.
Celestia is not good at fighting today, like, at all. Like, I've done some really rubbish. I didn't hit one thing in the plan
unless
fight,
you've got a bonus
nothing.
action you want to use, and we'll move on to Scamp.
I think I'm good, actually.
Cool.
I'm going to conserve other inspirations.
I would like to try and kick the baby chicken and cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay, go for it. Shocking punt.
15. That's not bad, actually.
That hits. Roll damage.
5.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to say you kick it about 5 feet away as well. But, and yeah, there's an arcs of electricity pass through it, and it just seems... still enraged, still inclined
I will
to
back up
attack.
further, because it doesn't have a reaction right now.
That's true. Yeah.
Are you still tied to
Advantage of
chaos?
Shocking Grasp. Yes, I have, but that was not a level 1 spell, so it's alright.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a cantrip, so it's fine.
Yeah, Shocking Grasp, really useful if you want to immediately retreat from something.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
it
good.
is.
It's great.
I will retreat.
Yeah, you back the fuck away, and because you have more range than it cannot... on its following turn, it only uses the dash action to go after you, because it can't do anything else. This thing cannot fly, so you can outrange it easily enough. It does still get within 5 feet of you, because these things, when they pick a target, just keep going. The one on Celestia is going to make an attack, though. That does hit. That's a 20.
Hit, yeah.
You take 2 points of piercing damage and roll a Constitution save.
Oh, holy shit. You can't use inspiration for saves, can you?
Yes, you can.
Can you? Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Can you inspire yourself?
Oh, God.
No, but I gave her DM inspiration.
What is
Oh,
it?
yeah,
A con
but
save?
It's D6.
Oh, I'm so using inspiration for that. Oh, please be good.
-1 to your Constitution
Yeah,
save.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's less horrifying. Okay, so that would be a 14.
Okay, that is enough.
Oh, thank God.
You only the
My first
only
one,
way
I
it
rolled.
pegs you.
I rolled an 8, so I rolled a 6 on my inspiration
Yeah,
dice.
no, that would have resulted in a very different turn of events.
Holy shit! That
But
was
yeah,
close.
only the point where the beak scratches you turns to stone.
Oh God, that I was very close to being turned to stone there,
That's
guys.
right.
Like seriously,
Okay.
Okay,
an 8 would not have saved me.
that makes it Corzin's go.
All right. So he's just got the 2 babies left.
Yeah,
All right.
one baby. No, one baby would. What's your maximum range? Actually, it's 25 feet because you're short. You can't actually reach.
Yes.
You cannot actually reach the second baby and make an attack because it is 30 feet away.
In which case, then I'm going to pull the carbine off my shoulder.
Okay, bear in mind you're still within 5 feet of the other baby next to Celestia.
Oh, okay. In which case, I won't do that. I will just attack the other baby.
Cool, go for it.
Oh yeah, that's 22.
That hits. Roll damage.
That's 10 slashing damage.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
You bisect the baby.
Oh God.
It is gone.
All right. I'm gonna try and interpose myself insofar as possible between Celestia and the remaining.
Okay.
juvenile.
Just for fun, if you really want to, you could probably Hunter's Mark the remaining one with your leftover bonus action because you've killed the previous Hunter's Mark target. So you can
Yep,
shift.
I will do that.
Yep. Okay. You
Hunter's
find there is a moment where just at the edge of your vision, Celestia, you can see the fish eye seem to appear for a moment next to him, and actually no, it appears in one of his eyes. And Corzin, your focus draws in on this one injured baby. Celestia.
Okay, Celestia. So there's only one left, yeah?
Yeah.
She's gonna turn to it, and she's gonna go, "All your friends are dead," and she's gonna use vicious mockery. So that is a wisdom save
Okay.
from the Cockatrice.
That's 12.
Doesn't
not make it.
save. Woo! So that is a 4. Okay, so it takes 4 points of damage, and it also has disadvantage on its next attack.
No prizes for guessing its remaining hit points. How would you like to? How would you like to finish this?
I would like to say, "All your friends are dead," and just stare at it.
Okay.
till it dies.
For a moment, it's like pecking and
just
screaming.
like eye
and screeching.
contact.
It's pecking and screaming, screeching, and it just seems to hear these words. And it pierces whatever animal brain it has. And like, it looks round. And it just sinks into the... falls over, smacking.
That was actually
into
quite
the
grim.
blood.
You just talk something to death.
I did just talk something to death. That did happen, yes.
You all kind of insulted it to death.
Yeah.
Oh.
I insulted a baby until it died. That's what just happened.
Okay.
Wow.
As you're taking a moment
Wholesome
to...
family entertainment.
Oh, yes.
Have we
Oh, it's only
got
going to
any
get
way
worse
of
from here.
carrying these?
I think one of you might have a backpack.
Yeah.
But worst comes to worst, you
I've got a bag,
can't.
but-
Yeah, you can. The heads themselves are not that large. You could stick them all in a bag if you wanted
We
to.
can carry a couple each.
Yeah. So, who wants to start cutting off more cockatrice heads?
Oof.
Corzin raises a hand.
Yeah, you start going about the grim business of
Celestia
severing
does not help.
He's already got a 2-head start on you.
Yay! Oh. No, not quite worth inspiration. Almost, but...
Sorry, I have
That
been,
wasn't a
you know,
chicken kebabs one.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
No, you've got the actually cool things. I've just been dealing with the terrible puns this week.
Okay, so as you are picking you're collecting and bagging the last of the 5 severed cockatrice heads.
Are there
you
any unhatched eggs in the nest?
Ooh, roll a luck check.
Alright, just... 16.
1.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick that up and carefully stow it about my person.
Okay. You had one unhatched cockatrice egg.
Do you do that so we can
Yeah.
see, or do you hide it?
Yeah, I'm not really making a secret of this.
Yeah. Okay. You pocket a cockatrice egg. As you do so, I'm going to ask a perception check from anyone who wants to make one.
I'm just going to. I
Yep.
can't really help with the cutting, so I'm just going to be looking around. Nope.
That's a 17 from Celestia.
Okay.
16 from Corzin.
Yeah. Corzin and Celestia, you both seem to notice at the same moment there is a figure in the tree line. They seem to have been there for some time. You can see what appears to be an elderly human woman, hunchbacked, resting on a walking stick, kind of a gnarled-looking old one. She is wearing a heavy kind of black cloak, hood up. You can still see kind of stringy, slightly dirty and grimy looking grey hair. Her face is thick with warts, old like pock marks, like she's had smallpox or something in the distant past, and in any case is also kind of scrunched up and quite ill-figured. You might gently describe her as extremely homely. By which I mean this woman looks as if she fell off the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. Yeah. And she seems to have been watching you sever cockatrice heads. Having fun, dears? She says, and there's a slightly wicked... there's the wicked grin of an old grandmother who knows she's caught you doing something that you'd rather not be seen observed.
Right, Celestia just turns around and goes, so much
Yes,
fun.
thank you.
Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you.
Oh, you are a pretty one, aren't you? Well, you can call me Olga Gristlegums. So, I see you've been having a fine day upsetting my chicken coop.
Oh.
Your chicken coop upset us first.
Ah! She sort of waves a hand. I hated those chickens anyway.
Why were you keeping him then?
Eggs.
Right,
No, I just like them. But I also hate them.
Okay, right.
So, are you just here to chicken rustle, or do you have some other purpose for being in the middle of my swamp?
We were wondering.
Hoping for a conversation, really.
Yeah, we wanted to talk.
Oh, looking to talk, aren't you? Well, I suppose you'll be wanting to come in then. This way, and she extends one bony finger and crooks it at you. You might as well sit down in my house. Can't be having a conversation in the middle of a swamp. Honestly, you young people, I hope you brought gifts. It's very respectful for your elder.
God, what
And she
the hell?
carries on this line of chatter, just nonsense babbling, essentially for the next 2 minutes. As without waiting for you to follow, she just starts walking off into the swamp, assuming that you will come with her.
I get the impression she doesn't entertain often.
Yeah, I'm getting that too.
I don't know, I'm highly entertained.
Okay, after a short walk, you find it's surrounded by a small, kind of ill-kept-looking hedge. Lots of thorns, lots of bits sticking out, and some herb garden. A little herb garden, as far as you can tell, with little herbs growing on little sticks in the mud. But she leads you to a barren mangrove tree. This thing is like huge. It's like 30 feet tall, with 5 massive warped limbs that crook forward over the circular front door like an outstretched, grasping hand. There's a couple of
chicken legs.
No chicken legs. You elected to leave the chicken legs with the rest of the cockatrice bodies. And yeah, there's a small round door, a couple of little round wooden windows that can be opened. And she kind of shuffles forwards and hits the door, and it kind of swings open. Well, come on then, get in. She hobbles, leading you inside. The interior of the treehouse is extremely cluttered. Long shelves and racks cover every wall of this circular chamber, just brimming with strange miscellany. Jars of odd powders, strings of herbs and bulbs, odd little trinkets and statues, ranging from a small glass orb, which is apparently filled with what appears to be a raging snowstorm, to, on one small shelf, a mummified hand with 5 candle wicks set into the fingertips. 3 objects form the centerpiece of the room. A huge copper kettle, large enough to boil a man whole in. The skin of a massive alligator, apparently serving as a rug.
Oh god.
And a heavy-backed wooden chair. It's essentially a throne. Looking at it, you can see that carved into every surface is the image of fingers. So it looks like the throne is composed entirely of fingers. There's a large.
Is it composed entirely of fingers, or does it just look like it?
It just looks like it. It seems to be made
cool.
of. It seems to be carved out. It seems to be carved out of driftwood or something. But yeah, there's a large pool of stagnant water in one corner, and Olga takes slumps down in the big wooden chair. There are no other chairs. She is clearly expecting you to stand, and as she sits, she snaps her fingers, and the firewood beneath the cauldron bursts into flames. The cauldron immediately begins to slowly heat up. Only Corzin and I'm going to say Scamp can make an insight check here.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say an insight check.
4!
Yeah, 4.
Oh wow.
Okay, yeah, no, this
Good one, guys.
Yeah, this she's clearly got some powerful magic on her hands. She can just cause that whole set of firewood to suddenly burst into a full roaring fire like that. So,
Are you going to eat us?
she looks
Do
you
you
up.
eat people?
She looks you up and down, licking her lips. You're a hideous little thing, aren't you?
Oh, great. Well, thanks.
No, I like it. Come now. There's no need for beards here.
Oh shit, is that still on?
Yeah, apparently.
I don't know whether you've had it on. If you've not had it on, then we'll ignore that.
You never said you took it off.
You never said you took it
No,
off. So.
I kind of assumed I took it off out of town, but I never said it, so I guess it's
Yeah,
still
so,
on.
yeah, do you want to take your beard off?
Yeah, I'll take it off.
Okay. She seems pleased by what she sees. Oh, yes. You're a wretched creature. Half goat by the looks of you. Oh, you are hideous. I like you. You, she says, looking at Celestia. You less so. You are sickeningly well proportioned.
Thank you. I like to think so.
With an attitude to match, no doubt. And as for you, she looks down at Corzin. Why, you're so much smaller than my cauldron, I don't think you'd fill me up in the slightest. So no, I think today I won't be eating any of you. Assuming, of course, that you are properly respectful to an old woman living on her own in the woods. But you wanted to talk, right? So talk!
You appear to have a taste for unfortunately appearing people.
What can I say? I like things to have a certain unfinished look.
Haven't been dealing with anyone else who looks unfortunate around here, have you?
Oh, that's a very specific question. Why not be plain about it? You don't need to lie or hide things with Olga Gristlegums. After all, it is well known. Olga Gristlegums never lies.
Okay, what does Merton owe you?
Oh,
Yeah, what's
You've
going
been
on with the
talking
mayor?
If we're gonna
to
be
Mayor
plain-
Merton. Ah, yes. I imagine he was... Oh, did he not even tell you what he's so uncomfortable about? He hasn't...
No, he told us to do things that we don't want to do.
No, I think that's a wise decision on your part. Well, he has always been a little uncomfortable with the idea of paying. We made an arrangement long ago. He wasn't happy with the way that he was made, so I offered him a solution, and he offered me his firstborn daughter on her 7th birthday.
Fucking knew it.
Do you think this was
Did
unfair?
you kill his wife? Was that a... Or was that just an accident? His wife died.
Yes. So, who? Did you ask if I killed her? I didn't kill her. That's ridiculous.
Did he kill her?
That depends on who you ask.
So
Did he
it's-
push her? No, not physically.
Oh,
Oh, that's actually worse.
that's grim.
She leans
Is
back.
this deal something you intend to collect on?
Well, yes. I mean, unless you're planning to talk me out of it.
Could you be talked out of it?
Well, why don't you give it a shot? Why shouldn't I collect on my deal? I, alas, terribly cannot conceive myself, so if I want a little girl to fetch and sweep and learn my craft, I'm afraid I simply have to adopt. And since I have one lined up, why not?
Because she doesn't necessarily want to. Surely it's better to find someone who wants to come.
Yeah, surely somebody who'd want to would be a
And
better
she
apprentice.
doesn't owe you anything.
Also, have you seen her? She's
She's really
like
gorgeous.
the picture of
Oh,
time.
details,
Of
that can be
health and-
fixed.
I have a question about that. Is she pretty because her father's pretty?
I think it's more accurate to say that she's pretty because her mother was pretty. Such a pretty girl.
Is it just an illusion? His prettiness?
A
I mean,
little
it's a good
of,
one.
a little in one hand, a little in the other.
You know there are tons of orphans out there who would love to fetch you water and learn your craft.
Yes, but I wouldn't love them to do it.
Why?
I want the good daughter of the prettiest girl in town. But I suppose you have a point. Perhaps it would be unjust of me.
I
Perhaps.
mean, I'd have done it. I'm busy now, but
Yes. I'm afraid I'm not currently looking for exactly your sort of help, but
Well, I've got
I
a
do
job
like
now.
your spirit. Well, indeed. Well, I
There's an
suppose... You know what? Fine. You've talked me out of it. I'm going to break off the deal. But I don't want it said that Olga Gristlegum lies or breaks her deals. After all, everyone knows Olga Gristlegum always tells the truth. So, I'm going to need to this delivered to Merton in writing, so that he knows for sure that I've broken off the deal, that I don't expect him to pay his end. And he can even keep her the little trinket. Since it's not a required clause.
What's the catch?
The catch is that I break off the deal. It's simple. That's all that I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the deal. I will not collect on the payment. I will not take his daughter as my rightful fee. I suppose this is what you get for asking for payment in advance, you know. Sometimes people like to default and, well, I suppose it would be a lot of trouble to collect the girl. So,
Does he lose his looks?
No. The little trinket he has will stay working for as long as he pays proper attention to it.
What were the exact details of this deal?
It was a very simple deal. In fact, I still have the original contract in his own blood. In exchange for a cure to his unfavoured looks, I would grant him... in exchange for a cure to his unfavoured looks, he would owe me his firstborn daughter to be delivered to my hut for my use by or on her 7th birthday. And it's that simple. No hidden devilish details. Just that.
Why are you going back on it?
You successfully talked me out of it. I can tell that if he's sent you here for what I assume to be a nefarious purpose, based on what your young friend there has said, then he is clearly not willing to give up his daughter willingly. That said, as I mentioned, I will need someone to deliver this news to him. After all, I live in a swamp. And look at me, I can't deliver letters myself. But I will pay you for your service if you agree to deliver it.
What's the catch?
I'm not sure he's going to agree to that.
Yeah. Well, that's what he wants. What he truly wants is to be out of the deal. That's why I assume he sent you here. To convince me, one way or another, to break off my end of the deal.
Something like that.
Well, that's what I'm offering. An end to the deal. Clear
Are you going
and
to take
simple.
the child anyway?
I will not kidnap this child. I will not take her away unless at some future point she should come to me and ask to be taken up. I would love that if that would happen, but I can't imagine why. No, I suppose I could imagine why. Imagination's powerful. Make an insight check.
I don't.
This is freaking me out.
15?
Oh, that's a natural 20 from me.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
You get the feeling... You know what? You get the feeling that every word she is speaking is true.
Oh, what does that mean?
You get the feeling that she's very deliberately speaking only literal truths.
But maybe there's something else going on, but she's not. Okay,
Well, unless
Or
of
deliver
course,
the letter.
he doesn't receive the letter, in which case perhaps I will come and take her because he won't have acknowledged that the deal is broken
right.
off.
okay,
Right, but you need us to take it.
Well, I can't walk into town myself.
So
I'm very comfortable here.
If we don't make it into town, the deal's on.
Yes, but it's a simple courier trip.
okay, we'll take the letter. I
Okay,
guess.
so-
You both okay with that?
I'm going to need to write the letter. This is going to take me about 10 minutes. But Yes, I'll let you... by the way, we'll discuss payment once I've written it.
Okay, I'm gonna like whisper to you.
Okay, she wanders off to a small table in the corner, takes out some parchment rather than paper, an old ink quill, and starts dipping it in some ink and writing out a letter.
What's the parchment made of? Is there any way of telling if it's people skin?
Make an intelligence check.
Oh, because I'm so smart. 12.
It's made out of whatever the material your parchment is made of.
Oh, it's people skin.
Oh God! Right.
How do you know that it's people skin?
I just have a horrible feeling that my map is people skin.
Is it kind of saggy?
Oh,
Or crispy.
If you treat it properly.
It's kind of thin though.
Ew. Yeah, so I'm going to whisper to you guys in the corner. What else can we do here? So we've got to take it.
She's going to kill us. She will give us the letter, and then she will kill us.
Maybe, but otherwise we let a 7-year-old
she will
be taken
not
in
maybe.
here.
She will try and kill us.
I'm going to see. I'm
What
going to roll to
else
see
do
how
we do?
good
Do we
Olga's
burn down
hearing
her
is.
hut? Like...
Okay, Olga's hearing is pretty good, and she calls out from her writing, "I can offer you a guarantee of safe passage as well, if you would like."
Oh,
That
she's
would probably be
Are you
welcome.
going to kill him?
That would be nice.
If she kills him, we can't deliver it.
I promise, as part of this arrangement, that I, Olga Gristlegums, will not kill the mayor known commonly as Merton Off.
Do you
Or
have a pre?
nor will I kill you during the execution of your service, unless you should attack me or mine, or attempt property damage to that effect.
Do we have a time limit on this delivery?
Okay.
Yes, you do. She
Did he
finishes
have a
writing up the
previous
letter.
name, this Merton?
No, he did not, but I like your thinking. No. And I also said the mayor known commonly as Merton Off, which would be sufficient to identify him for the purposes of this. She folds
What's the
several
time limit?
She folds several pieces of paper together into an envelope and then proceeds to tie
It's
it
the girl's
with purple
birthday
string.
tomorrow, so you figure it out.
Yes, midnight tomorrow. By midnight, on the evening of the 7th birthday of Clara Off, which indeed is midnight tomorrow. Not the midnight that's coming up in a few hours, but the one 24 hours after that. You understand? It needs to be delivered by the end of the girl's 7th birthday, otherwise how can he know that the contract is over? She finishes tying the letter. Before she hands it to you, she holds it up. Now, I have a few other offers after this, if you're in the mood for bargaining, but first let's discuss your payment for this. She reaches over to a shelf and pulls down several bottles. 3 of them you recognise. They are small glass vials filled with brandy-coloured liquid. These are 3 potions of healing. They are my, what you might call my default offer if you will conduct this. Nothing more tricksy than that. They are just 3 ordinary potions of healing, and I give you my word that there are no unwanted side effects to them. Alternatively, and she pushes them to one side, I do have a couple of other potions. Only one of them I would provide. They are worth more, which might be of interest to you. She moves forward a small potion bottle filled with some sort of gelatinous orange-looking liquid. And you can see there's just small sparks and glimmers within it. This, if swallowed, will give you the power to breathe fire as if you were a dragonborn, up to 3 times in the hour after you drink it. Also, terrible throat burn. Puts that to one side. Pulls out a small bottle of what appears to be murky, algae-ish water. This will allow you to breathe underwater, as if you were Sahwagin for an hour. And she pulls out another bottle of what looks like to be another potion of healing. This is not a potion of healing. This is a deadly poison that looks exactly like it. But hey, you could always give it to someone you don't like. So, either the 3 potions of healing, or one of these 3 potions are what I'm willing to offer.
I have a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really not intending to harm this girl, or the mayor at all, then why not just give us something that we could use as proof that we'd done away with you? You can carry on living your life. He doesn't need to know. You never need to interact with each other again.
Because he might not believe you. This way, and she holds the letter, he knows for certain that I have broken off the deal, and my word is my bond, because Olga Gristlegums famously does not lie.
Right.
Is that so?
So we've got to get it back by midnight.
Next midnight.
By midnight
midnight.
tomorrow night, yes.
Okay,
There's a catch here.
Well, do we want 3 potions of healing, or do we want 1 potion of something else? I think 3 potions of healing would be really quite good.
She holds the three potions out in her clawed-looking, gnarled old hand.
Corzin, what do you think?
The potion of water breathing would be very useful, but any of them would be.
True. Very true. I mean, we can heal a bit now, can't we?
Not all of us.
True. It would be good for you to have one.
If you go down.
Well, I still have 1 left over from previously.
And I can do healing word, but that is it. And that's a spell, so they do get used up.
Yeah, but I mean, I have a potion of healing left over from previously.
What do we reckon?
I reckon we're being lawyered.
Oh, we are totally being lawyered.
Absolutely.
She's got to find a
We are
way of
being-
presenting us getting back before midnight.
Of course, but I think we've got to do
Part
it.
of my conduct of safe passage, if you wish, is that I will not put physical impediments or mental impediments in your way of delivering the letter unless you fulfill the terms I previously dictated, which would allow me to take lethal force against you, so that those specifically being acts against myself, that which I own, or property damage to that effect. Happy?
Okay, let's do it.
Seems reasonable.
Potions, which do we want?
Okay.
I'd say healing's probably
Let's.
the most
I think healing, because then we each get something
Alright.
that
Okay.
could be very, very
You
useful.
take the 3, as you each reach to take the 3 healing potions.
One each.
She then extends the letter for one of you to take.
I'm going to take it.
Okay, she then says, by the way, as you laid hands on it, time for just a little bit of warnings. You see, I am a bit concerned about the possibility of mail fraud. It being a case, what's to stop you just tossing that into the swamp as soon as you leave? So to that effect, I have placed a curse on it, which will only
good.
activate if the letter is not delivered by midnight the following night. That is the night of Clara's birthday. That is the only occasion on which it will activate. The curse will affect anyone who has touched the letter, she points at you, or, in case you decide to pass it on to someone else to deliver, anyone who touches the letter up to the point at which it is opened. If the letter is opened before midnight on the aforementioned night, then none of the people who have touched the letter will be subject to the curse. I just want to ensure that my letter actually gets delivered.
That seems reasonable.
Now, before you leave, I do actually have a few other services I could offer if you are willing to make bargains. For instance, there are, of course, the 3 potions I mentioned before. I also have, and she reaches over to the claws and to the shelves and starts picking up the various objects. I also have this very handy little snow globe. I trapped a storm in it. She puts it to one side. There is this. She pulls down a small, what looks like a shoe polish tin, pulls it open. You can just see there's some thin grey dust in it. This is a very handy little dust, which for between 2 to 8 minutes will turn whoever you sprinkle it on, and anyone within about 10 feet of them, invisible, along with all of their possessions, well, for the aforementioned amount of time. This handy dust, she puts it to one side. Then, of course, there is this, and she pulls down the mummified hand. This is the Hand of Glory.
Ah! So excited.
Yes. Lighting one of the fingers, which I'd encourage you to do with a match, or any other conveyance of your choice, will cause it to burn down over the course of a minute. Provided they are weak enough, either by virtue of their own meagre constitution or having taken sufficient injury, anyone within 30 feet, except the person holding the hand, will fall asleep for as long as the candle burns. There are, of course, 5 candles. In addition to that, I have a certain limited amount of ability to view past, present, and future. Only snatches. But that is a service I offer as well. If any of the 3 of you would be interested in any of my items or this service, I'm willing to bargain.
How does your future seeing work? Or present? Either. How does that work?
I
What do
am
you need?
able to see... Future is the hardest. Past and present I can see in more clarity. I'm usually able to get about 30 seconds or so of vision of something which has occurred, is occurring, or is likely to occur. The future is mutable. It can change based on your choices, but I can see how things will happen if they proceed at the rate at which they are going now. Unfortunately, this is an exhausting process for me. I can only do it perhaps 2 or 3 times in a day. But it is a subject I'm willing to offer, and I can home in, as it were, on specific things, or look for specific pieces of information.
People?
But if needed, yes.
How much would that be for a present?
For you? I have a different... for you, I have a specific offer for my bargain. I want a day of your beauty. From dawn to the following dawn, you will get to know what it is like to have my looks. You will have my looks, and I will have your looks, for 24 hours, from dawn to dawn.
When would that be?
She smiles, and there's sort of ugly, yellowing teeth. Whenever I damn well want it to be.
And you can find a specific person.
Yes. In the now, the past, or the future.
Done.
She takes...
Are you sure?
Yeah.
She reaches over to a shelf and pulls out a broken a sort of, kind of bubbled, strange-looking piece of mirror. And she passes it to you. Look into that, and then break it.
I do so.
Okay. The mirror cracks down the middle, but doesn't completely break in half, but there's now splinter marks all of it. And as you pass it away, you can see it just has still frozen the moment of when you were looking at it. She takes it away, places it in her robe. Right, this is going to take a few minutes. By now the cauldron is just bubbling gently. She takes a huge wooden spoon and starts stirring it. As she goes, she occasionally reaches over to the different shells, takes small powders, sprinkles them in, and begins muttering a low chant. There are shapes and shadows starting to appear in the cauldron. You can't quite clearly see what they are, but maybe she can. Who do you wish me to find? And do you wish me to seek their past, present, or future?
Present. I want to know if they're still alive and okay, and if possible, anything about where they are.
I need a name, a likeness, or a piece of them or one of their belongings.
Would a gift from them do?
Yes, but you will not get it back.
Okay, you're not having that. Her name is Leah Leodon.
Very well. I'll need a lock of your hair, please.
Okay, I chop them off.
She's just She reaches out for it idly, and she's just staring. And she drops it into the cauldron, and the liquid turns from bubbling water to silvery liquid like mercury. And again, you can see these uncertain looks. As she's peering into it, you can see that there is a just faint outline of what looks like a ship or something. You can't quite clearly see it. She is at sea. She is bechained. There is a great tumult. A storm? No. It rocks the sides. She cannot see much, and I see through her eyes. But peering through the cracks left, there is another ship approaching. Another crack, another crash. The hull has been broken open. Water floods in. She is struggling. But the cannonball that has struck through has broken their chains. They are all rushing now. Rushing for the surface. Moving up. I see her climbing. She is on the deck now. A ship with red sails is on the horizon. Nay, closer. Turning for another salvo. The mast of this ship has been broken. The other chained ones, they are fighting against their captors. One comes for her. He has a blade. She does not. It comes in close. And she flinches. She lives. That is the last I see of this. And if you look down, you can see that the silvery liquid has turned back to water.
But she's alive. She didn't die from the blade.
At the moment when I left her eyes, she was alive. She hobbles back to her seat.
Celestia is looking properly rattled, like she's gripping the edge of the cauldron. She's just gone still, which Celestia is not much. Yeah,
okay.
She's full on, like, freaked out and sort of shaking.
I'm willing to conduct two more bargains.
Corzin asks, who is she to you?
She's the only person who ever treated me like a person before I came here.
He nods understandingly.
We'll get her back.
Not if that man with a knife carried on, we won't. And, that depends whether she'll have me. Right.
You know more now than you did yesterday.
It's a start. It's definitely a start. But I just hope that she managed to get through that. Because I don't really know what I'll do if she didn't, to be honest.
Olga's been watching this whole exchange with her beady little eyes. So, anyone for another bargain?
How much for that potion of water breathing?
For you? I want you to swallow a whole egg without biting it or chewing it.
Do it! Do it!
And she plucks from her pocket it's about the size. It's about the size of a small chicken's egg, and it's this black gelatinous sphere with a softly glowing sort of red interior. It looks like an enormous tadpole.
Celestia Celestia sort of reached her limit at this point and has kind of tears in her eyes and just sort of gives this weak little giggle of like, what is happening right now?
Do I know what that is?
I guess make a nature check?
Because out of character, I have a terrible suspicion. That's a 6.
Nope. Not a damn clue. She's just looking at you with a wicked, malicious little grin.
God.
This is quite a wide grin.
Without chewing it.
Or biting. I want you to swallow a whole egg. This egg.
Fine.
Celestia full-on just sinks down to the floor at this point, like,
No,
what is
he
happening?
Takes the
just
cockatrice
giggling.
egg out of his pocket.
Has to be
cracks
this
the
egg.
top off.
Before you can crack it. Has to be this egg.
Okay. Why that egg?
Because this is the most amusing egg I have. You're going to suffer the whole way swallowing it. And that's what I want out of this. I just want you to be in extreme discomfort while I watch. Because I live in a swamp and I don't get much entertainment.
Holy shit.
You sure we aren't happy just ending this the quick way? I say to the other two. We're kind of committed now, aren't we?
Yeah.
we're
Kind of gotten past the point of barring the door and setting fire to things.
we're beyond that. Also, I don't think it would work, to be honest. Celestia's like on the floor with her head in her hands, like Celestia's a mess right now. Basically,
It's a stupid idea from a stupid man.
Alright. I'm going to attempt to swallow this,
Okay.
but well, actually no, I'm going to attempt to appear to swallow it, but hide it.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Ten.
She's as you try to slip into your coat pocket as you're doing it. She goes in your mouth.
Okay. Gulp.
Okay, make a Constitution save.
oh god,
7.
oh shit.
Okay, you gag and choke the whole way down. It feels, oh god, it tastes the bitterest, slimiest damn thing. It feels awful, and it takes you like almost 30 seconds to get it all the way down from the amount you try and you almost retch.
Oh no.
It will take at least 8 hours for symptoms to start showing, but you have acquired filth fever.
Oh dear.
Right.
Yeah, she wanted to watch you suffer. Oh, I like you. And she genially hands you the potion of water breathing.
I snatch it out of her hand and put it away.
And for you, little one, would
Just
you
all
like
back away.
anything? No? It's a cheap price, 7 truths.
7 truths.
Yes.
I have to tell you the truth, or you tell me the truth?
Oh no. You have to tell the truth 7 times.
Okay.
She reaches into her
What are the
pocket
things I can get?
and pulls out a small boiled sweet. I can see something of the future, the past, or the now. Or there is the hand of glory, or this dust of disappearance, or the fire breath, or the poison, or the snow globe.
What's going to be the most useful? I was invisible once and I didn't like it very much. How do you release the storm? What does it do?
Oh, you just throw it. There's a little enchantment on it. You can hurl it a good 90 feet or so by your hand, and it will break and let out the storm. Only for a few seconds, but it's enough to cause a great deal of discomfort to anyone in its immediate vicinity.
Sounds fun. Alright, I'll go for the snow globe.
Excellent. Swallow this, would you? Just put it under your tongue and it'll dissolve.
Taking sweets from strangers!
Yeah.
Okay.
While she's doing that, can I go outside and try and retch
Okay.
to get out
Yep.
what I just swallowed?
Okay, so Corzin, yeah, you are furiously trying to retch this out. You stick your fingers down your throat. It's not coming out. This thing feels like it's dissolved in your stomach.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, no. You even vomit a bit, but it just doesn't come back out. Scamp, you place the... do you place the... what was it you wanted, actually, again?
Snow globe.
Snow globe, alright.
It's pretty.
She passes you the boiled sweet, tells you to put it under your tongue.
Okay, do that.
Oh god, it's like... What's the most bitter substance you can imagine?
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh no. Ooh.
Like, imagine...
Like tree sap?
Yeah, imagine like pine sap...
Earwax.
Pine sap and earwax
Yeah.
blended
Ooh.
with marinated shit.
Oh, yum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why would you make that
Yeah.
into a sweet?
Because this is a vicious old woman.
She's crazy. Says Celestia
And
from the
she
floor
just
where she
watches
still
you.
is.
She watches you sort of your face like twist as you try to as it dissolves under your tongue, and then gleefully passes you the snow globe. Here you go. Stats for the snow globe, by the way: 90-foot range, breaks for 4d6 cold damage in a 20-foot radius sphere.
Is this an official magical item or
No, it's a homebrew
no?
one.
It's a homebrew
So,
one, right? So
Yeah,
I won't
I'll
type
send
it
you the
out
details.
officially.
Yeah, I'll send you the
Cool.
details afterwards. Okay, with your deals done, she says, "Right then, I think that's everyone. Get out of my house and deliver my message.
What did this
Will
sweet
do.
do?
It will, as promised, extract 7 truths from you when it thinks it'll be the funniest."
Oh,
Oh,
right.
God.
Shit.
That's really bad.
That's so bad.
Horrendous.
Should have asked that before I ate the sweet. Oh well.
Shit. That's horrific.
So,
I guess we get out of the house.
yeah, she ushers you with her stick out of her claw-shaped house. And as
Celestia takes 1 second to punch a wall once she's out there.
you see the
Full
claw,
on just
the
punches
claw like limbs of the trees shake for a moment.
Oh, I feel like this is going to end really badly.
Let's just get the letter there and then never think about this ever again.
Well, actually, we can stop by the Alchemist before.
Yeah.
We've at least got a bounty worth on that.
True. We can
True.
get some money from those.
And with that,
And-
it is actually now nightfall. You begin
Oh
to
shit.
you begin to make your way back from the witch's hut. And that is where we will pick up next week.
Oh god, nightfall in a swamp. Oh, this will go
Thank
really
you
well.
all for playing. We'll see you all next week. Well, we won't see you and you won't see us, but you will hear us next week, listeners, here on Flintlocks and Fireballs. Farewell.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Flintlocks and Fireballs. Remember to like, rate, subscribe and share so we can spread this madness as far as it will go. Farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs, fair seas and natural 20s.
The day may seem fine time to drink, but watch your step or soon you'll sink. When beauty's hand in hand with luck, beware the bargains you have struck.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.